Holy Land lovers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Don't adjust your set, I'm wearing a Christmas shirt, and it is, in fact, Friday, January 26th, 2024. It's started warming up here in California, so I figure it's time to pay some final January homage to all these Christmas guys that I got this year. And I figured I might as well wear this Christmas shirt that I won't have much occasion to wear for most of this year. But yeah, I'm really excited today. It's like a Christmas gift that it keeps on giving. It's not. I'm just trying to tie it in. Just calm down, everyone. So today we're going to be playing Sam & Max Hit the Road. So Sam & Max Hit the Road is an adventure game, a LucasArts adventure game that came out in 1993. It might be the graphic adventure game I've played the most of in my lifetime. It's also one of my favorites of all time. And somewhat famously, Telltale, the video game studio that brought us The Walking Dead games, among other things, got their start with these same characters, Sam and Max, by rebooting that series in an early 2000s adventure game that it was really concerning to me to realize how old that was. Both Sam and Max Hit the Road and the three sort of installments of Sam and Max created by Telltale are games that I really love. I haven't played the Telltale ones since they came out, but we're going to play them this year. But before we can get there and appreciate that, we're going to play through the original Sam and Max Hit the Road. So just to give you a vague sense of what we're in for, Sam and Max are a pair of cartoon freelance police. Sam is a dog in a business suit, and Max is a naked rabbit, and also a force of pure chaos and violence, 'cause the 90s. As freelance police, they just sort of solve cases. Just whatever cases. There's some weird stuff they get up to. Yeah, we're like a rabbity-thing, some sort of lagomorph. You get the idea. And this game in particular is about one large continuous adventure to solve a particular mystery, which we'll get around to. It's obviously part of the plot of the game. But the reason it's called Sam and Max Hit the Road is that the idea is we're about to take a road trip all across the United States. The very real United States. Everything in this game is an accurate depiction of the United States in the 1990s, for sure, definitely. Don't worry about it. Now, because this is from 1993 and a DOS game, in order to see the opening cutscene, I had to make a special save in the weird contemporary software that makes the game run on a modern computer. So, we must awkwardly transition so that we can play Sam and Max.
Friends? Friends? We've only gone out together 3 times, and already you're telling me you just want to be friends? You never gave me a chance, and for that, you'll fry like a pork sausage.
It's not that I don't like you, it's just that, well, you're too nice a guy, I guess. I think I'd rather go out with someone more unpredictable.
Right on cue.
Hello. This doesn't look like the Lincoln Tunnel, Sam.
Looks to me like a marginally volatile hostage situation, Max.
Ooh, does this mean we get to kick some puffy white mad scientist butt?
Can't think of a reason not to.
You'll be of no use, freelance police. With the flip of a lever, my ungrateful lunch date will be reduced to a half cup of disoriented atomic matter.
I knew he wasn't a real doctor.
Shall I confront, subdue, and pummel the suspected perpetrator, Sam?
Sick him up, little buddy.
Ooh! Ow!
Hey, nice one.
Yikes!
Huh?
He's not a real guy, Sam. Can I keep his head for a souvenir? Why do you suppose it's ticking?
That's no head, Max. It's one damned ugly time bomb. Let's leave this criminal cesspool pronto.
Good idea, Sam. Maybe we can ditch the head somewhere while the credits are running. Mind if I drive?
Not if you don't mind me clawing at the dash and shrieking like a cheerleader.
Sam, is pronto a real word?
Goodbye, Sam and Max. I'll never forget all you've done here today.
We obviously have not untied her. That's just not part of our job, I guess. So yeah, I don't think there's any talking until the credits finish. So, yeah, I mean, early CD-ROM game, but like full voice throughout, quite a lot of characters. Let me know if the volume's okay. I worked reasonably hard at getting that set up. I think it's gotta be at least close, but let me know. Yeah, the awkward walk home. I mean, that's a real walk of shame. Like, you have this date, it goes extremely badly, and then you're, like, tied up and padlocked, right? I mean, it's a rough look. But yeah, like, showing off our, like, incredible 1993 music accompaniment with these homages to our detective work as freelance police officers. Didn't even leave her cab money. Yeah, I mean, I'd say we didn't give her a ride, but our car does have a time bomb in it. So, like, you know, the cab money probably would have been as much as we could do for her there. But we didn't. But, like, Sam and Max are not known for being emotionally intelligent. They're definitely both varying degrees of sociopaths, which often works in your favor, and especially since they're adventure game protagonists, as I've talked about at length over many adventure games in the past, that it really helps out to be a sociopath. And I feel like Sam and Max are gonna put that on full blast. They're gonna make it really clear how you benefit from that. I don't think there's too much left. I don't want to skip it. They put so much work into it. It's very stylistic. But we are about to be dropped right into a cutscene.
Well, that was a pleasantly understated credit sequence.
I enjoyed the cheesy retro ambiance.
What the hell are you talking about, Max?
Sam, either termites are burrowing through my skull, or one of us is ticking.
Oops. Oh, yeah. Max, where should I put this so it doesn't hurt anyone we know or care about?
Out the window, Sam. There's nothing but strangers out there.
I hope there was nobody on that bus.
Nobody we know, at least.
Hello? Yes? Yes? Yes. No. Really? Well, the same to you, Mac.
Another confused census taker?
Actually, it was the commissioner with another idiotic and baffling assignment.
You know, the freelance police commissioner.
Destruction?
We can only hope. Due to the arbitrarily sensitive nature of the mission, we'll be meeting a bonded city courier out on the street.
Ooh, smells like a fiercely thickening plot.
We have control of the game. How many streams do we think this will be? I should probably have a better estimate of this. I looked it up not that long ago of what the estimated time is. I know the game pretty well, so like, I don't think we'll end up being stuck very much in it. It's like somewhere between 3 and 6. My guess is probably like 4.5 to 5. It also depends on if some of them run long or something. I don't really know how that's gonna go. We've had a lot of long streams lately, so I might try to shorten a couple of these up for my own sanity, and mainly so I could play other games, which I've been trying to make time to do. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take in right at the start of the game. Obviously, we got a mission from the commissioner of the freelance police. Listen, I don't make the rules. I just live in this world. For some reason, it's a running gag with Sam and Max that the two of them always fight to answer the phone. never really clear on that. Personally, I would do the opposite. I would throw myself out the window not to answer the phone. But yeah, let's take a look around our sweet office. I don't actually remember if we could turn on the TV. I feel like we might be able to. Ah, perfect. Oh yeah, let's run through our controls real quick. So this is use, this little squeeze toy. When you can use something, it shows it squeezing. We got walking around fingers. We got look at eyeball.
Vertical silverware storage.
There's just such an offbeat characteristic about every aspect of Sam & Max. Just like the word choice, the irreverence, the like marginal amount of self-awareness of the medium. Like, I don't know. It's honestly really difficult for me to say how much this game has like colored my sense of humor, considering how integral it was to like my childhood. But man, I just really am a sucker for Sam & Max. We don't have a lick button, unfortunately. We do have a pick up button. And you can... This is actually something that's important to know to play this game, because if you don't know this, you will get stuck. Max is a usable item. And it's important. I think that's all of them, right? Pick up... Oh, of course, talk. Let's talk to Max. Let's just run through our options. I think every time you start a conversation in this game, you have at minimum these 4 options. The waving hand is leave the conversation. There's some explanation in the instructions. I mean, like, question is like literally a question. I think there's actually surprisingly few characters which normal questioning is relevant for. I think exclamation mark is just like say something. Whereas I think the duck is supposed to be say something profound, which in reality is like say something like completely useless and weird.
Are you as confused as I am?
More so.
I'm excited.
Who isn't?
My mind is a swirling miasma of scintillating thoughts and turgid ideas.
Me too.
Just the vocabulary of this game. The sheer vocabulary of it all. There's the bite button, but no lick. Yeah, I mean, like, listen. I think we talked about it when we played Full Throttle, another LucasArts game, like, maybe, like, just over a year ago. But that game was well ahead of its time with the lick button. That really should be standard in all adventure games in this day and age.
You're looking hale and hearty, little buddy.
I'm a coffee achiever, Sam.
My mind is a swirling miasma of scintillating thoughts and
Sometimes you'll get
turgid
multiple
ideas.
options from these. It seems like we're not there yet. So let's leave
that's all.
conversation. Before we head out on what I promise will be quite the road trip, I want to see if I can actually check my answering machine. I don't remember if I can.
Oh boy, we've got a message.
Gee, I hope it's something eerily provocative.
Sam, it's your mother calling to wish you a good morning. Be careful, honey, and try not to get shot today, okay?
Doesn't she know I'm old enough to make my own decisions about getting shot?
There we go. Now the lights stop blinking. I can feel at ease again. Before we get too much further, let's rearrange our vertical silverware storage. Thought this was a Tim Schafer game. No, I don't actually know who the designer on this is. I'm sure I should. Now, another thing that's important is that this game is one of these games, which I'll demonstrate in a moment. But it's the type of game where you need to make sure you know the bounds of every scene that you're in. Because there are a few times that you'll get got by that.
That's the tuna fish sandwich I made last spring.
Well, it was. Yeah, considering that I'm probably going to want to take a little bit of a scenic route and make sure to prompt the game to give us some good weird moments. It might take a little longer than the expected average, despite me knowing what's going on. Let's take a look at whatever we can see over here. Can you interact with Rat? No, you can't in this game. So, obviously this harpoon gun, not useful at all to us. I think this is supposed to be like a Tommy gun over here. Useless. Weirdly enough, ventriloquist doll that's like looking around of its own accord, also not useful. However,
It's a blacklight that Max uses to illuminate his rare 60s posters.
it's gonna be something that we're gonna want. Give me that. And I'm gonna put it over here in my inventory, which is a cardboard box that currently contains Max, that light bulb, and all the icons I showed you earlier. I don't think there's anything else in the closet, and the sandwich just happens once and has no bearing on anything as far as I know. We didn't actually get any feedback on the TV, did we?
We've been through a lot together, this TV and I.
That's a familiar sentiment for me. Are we in the 90s now? Oh, yeah. The stream title should indicate that we're in for maximum 90s nostalgia. This is a 1993 game. We're talking early 90s. There is one more thing that we're going to need to do before we leave.
It's Max.
If I can hit
All
the
our
right
money is
hitbox.
invested in that rat hole.
That wasn't a figure of
Hey,
speech.
Never leave home without it.
There's
Yeah,
always
we
money
may
in the
need to
banana
bribe
stand.
Slippery government officials.
With that, we should be good to leave. Anything interesting if I interact with the window? Nah. Alright, now hold on to your butts, because we don't live in the nicest neighborhood, as potentially evidenced by the various bullet holes and the rat that's on a loop running at the floor of the apartment. Squeak, squeak. I think I can go up.
We don't go upstairs.
Not since the accident.
It's just, I mean, like, this game just does, like, world building by illusion, like, really well. Like, you get a lot of sense of, like, the types of adventures that these two have had without really, like, learning a lot of specific details about what they've done. Oh, goodness. Simulcast. Mecca says, I'm normally indifferent to feet, but Sam's foot animations with his wriggly toes are weirding you out. I mean, you're gonna get some wriggly toes. That's just happening. How many times have I played this and unlocked everything? I mean, like, unlock is a really inappropriate... That's not quite the right word. It's not an applicable term for a 1993 game of this nature. I mean, it's also kind of hard for me to to directly answer that, because, like, I've played this game many times and not beaten it many times, and then eventually beaten it, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times, but, like, it took a lot of doing to learn how they, like, you have to keep in mind that, you know, I was born in 1987. I probably played this game for the first time in, like, 1995 or 1996. Just, like, listening to the vocabulary of this game, some of the hints it gives you as to what to do by things characters say, they just, like, flew over my head, and then I just started clicking. You know, over time, I got to understand things better as I got older, but, like, you know, it's a lot. Alright, let's see if we can get out of this place.
So, you want a piece of me, huh? Well, take a piece of this. Brutal.
But very true to life.
And here's one for your old man.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's friendly.
I really respect Flint's business acumen.
Please, Sam, don't use the word acumen again.
Guess he had it coming to him.
Can we ask this guy any questions about what just happened to him? I guess not. Oh, I can use him, though.
Gratuitous acts of senseless violence are my forte.
Oh, okay.
You're such an adorable urchin, Max.
Okay, everyone write that down. Max's forensic forte is incredible violence. We just finished playing Raincode, which is, I mean, I think it's easily the worst visual novel I've ever played. And it's unfortunately very long. But I will, like, it's now in the databank, so the references may occur. Like Halara. Similar to Halara. but with less focus on financial gain and more focus on wanton nature. So, you may recall from not that long ago that we were told that due to the, I forget the exact phrasing, due to the, like, arbitrarily confidential nature of this case, we'd be meeting with a bonded courier. So let's look around and see if we can find this fellow. Oh, this is actually pretty important. This here? This is our DeSoto. That's our car. That's our cop mobile.
I love this car.
You're a sick puppy, Sam.
What's really fun, and we'll get to this once we reach the Telltale era of Sam and Max, but, like, despite the fact that, like, changes are made to the precise look of how everything here is, like, they do a really good job of faithfully recreating the overall ambiance of, like, where our office is located. So, like, maybe take in what we experience here, and remember, just write that in your copybook for later.
Somebody's been ripping off the U.S. Postal Service.
Just curious what specific things I can
Really
look at
bad
after
food.
all this time. Really bad food. I love that place. Can I steal the mail? No, I think that's the car's hitbox. Believe it or not, we can actually leave despite not having acquired what we need to start playing the game yet. And I could demonstrate that by doing this. So, currently, this is a map of the United States that, once again, I must insist is entirely accurate to the world of 1993. However, currently, we don't know the directions to get mostly anywhere of consequence. We can go to, like, the Texas-Mexico border to do, like, a mini-game where Max rides on top of the car, and I frankly, to this day, don't really know the purpose of this mini-game. You can jump into various highway signs. I don't know if you want to do that or to not want to do that, but if you choose not to do that, then you're just standing on top of the car until you stop playing the game. Other than that, we've got 3 road stops from one chain, I believe it is Snuckies. And then over here we have, you know, like a clown tent up in Maine. And I shouldn't name states because I'm terrible at geography, so I'm going to try to make a mental note not to do that anymore. However, we should probably take more of a look around here. Can we talk to pigeons? Can I use talk with animals?
I don't speak pigeon.
Can't, just out of curiosity, does Max speak pigeon?
Nah, Max would just see how many of them he could stuff into his gaping maw.
Right, forensic forte and all that. I liked, you know, it's really convenient to live next to a store that covers all your needs, like Bosco's Guns, Liquors, and Baby Needs.
Bosco's Guns, Liquor, Baby Needs.
Well, Neko, known cat lover in chat, insisted that we pet this cat here. Now, the problem is, which of these buttons do you think is most likely to pet the cat instead of to do violence? Considering that this 90s game is, well, you know, 90s.
I won't pick that kitten up. I don't know where he's been.
I do like the vehicles will be stolen sign. That's always a good indicator. Can we, how about we speak with animals to cat?
Hey there, little fella.
You talking to me?
Oh. Hi?
Maybe. Are you a cleverly disguised bonded city courier?
Maybe. Are you the freelance police?
Yes, but don't go blabbing it to everybody.
I think he's kind of cute, Sam. Can I make a tennis racket out of him?
Maybe later, Max. Right now, we've got a message from the commissioner to collect.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm glad they transcribed that.
Sorry, guys. I swallowed your orders for safekeeping. But now I can't seem to hawk them back up.
Can I ask him other questions?
Hey there, little fella.
You talking to me?
Don't get smart with me, bub, or my partner will floss every last crevice on his body with your whiskers.
That's unsanitary, Sam.
And we gotta find out
Hey
what the
there,
duck
little
does.
fella.
You talking to me?
I'm not actually sure why it's kicking me out of the dialogue. I think it has something to do with the nature of the specific character.
Your head is disturbingly disproportionate to your body.
It's the vocal cords. You'd be amazed how much room they take up.
I might just be amazed by that. Well, we haven't tried
I don't
Squeeze Toy.
indiscriminately use people, except Max.
That's a great idea. Let's indiscriminately use Max on this
I
cat.
just love to turn this guy inside out.
Ooh, that gives me an idea.
Single-use cat.
According to these orders, something bizarre is happening at the carnival.
I thought that was the whole point.
Maybe we should check it out when we got nothing better to do, like guinea time.
There's a lot of little cues that I appreciate about this game. Sam and Max don't really give you a sense of urgency whatsoever. Like, this is their job, presumably. They went to the trouble to get their orders, and then they're immediately like, yeah, I suppose, like, whenever we feel like it, we could go investigate this case or whatever. Just put these orders away. Can I lick the jam? I mean, unfortunately, again, all I have is, like, a talk button. So, like, I can't really lick anything. We're not playing full throttle. I can use car, though. Earlier, Neko said, VascoDaGamer states would really help me. Even if you're wrong, I probably wouldn't know. And what's maybe more concerning about that is, unless people, like, personally live in those states because of the nature of the American education system, I'd say I got, like, a good 40 to 60% chance of getting that past a lot of Americans. Let's go to the carnival.
Tall nation and blimey. They ain't here.
So now what do we do?
Now we get in the bus and look for them, you idiots.
I knew that. Get out of Mr. Bumpus' way, you partially clad varmints.
Who was that?
I don't know, but if it weren't for the carefree innocence of this carnival, I'd be breaking his kneecaps.
You're a demonic little imp, Max.
Now, violence is often the answer in this game, that's for sure. So we'll put a pin in that until later. Let's see where we can get by walking around this carnival.
Stop!
Oh, that's quite the greeting. Please pan the screen, thank you. Hello, friend. Question
Hey,
mark.
what's the holdup?
Sorry, boys, we are closed. I can't let you in. Insurance reasons, you know.
That's fair. Insurance really complicates things. Hey, who is that guy? I have a grudge against him
Who
now.
are those misanthropes at the gate?
Which misanthropes?
The short
Fair.
one with the bad hairpiece, and the tall one with the dark, flinty eyes.
Hey, I just work here. Anything else?
Why did you ask for clarification if you had no intention of answering?
Let us in, Oleo breath.
Nope.
I want a corn dog.
You better have a better reason than that if you expect me to let you in.
I feel like a corn dog's
I'll
a
be
pretty
back.
good reason to
I
get
can
let in
hardly
anywhere.
wait.
Now, I suppose this guy wants a good reason for me to get in, huh? How about I show him my official freelance police
Check
orders?
this out, Jack. We're the freelance police. Here's our authorization to be here.
Now let us in before we replace you with a cheap renewable fuel source.
Let me run this by the boss.
Oh no. Oh, jeez. Oh, whoops.
I guess you can go in, but be careful. Carnivals can be dangerous to your health. Ho, ho, ho.
I mean, you did just
That
accidentally...
was needlessly cryptic.
I'd be peeing my pants if I wore any.
I'm just glad he's not peeing mine right now.
Everything seems to be in order here.
Sam, look over there.
How dare you call in the authorities without consulting me?
Well, I tried talking to you, but you were off wallowing in your own self-pity.
Yeah, but
It's them.
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Shep Cushman, and this is my brother Burl. Welcome to our carnival.
What's left of it?
I'm Sam. He's Max. We savagely protect the rights of innocents.
Even cruelly twisted ones such as yourself. Selves. Whatever.
Well, you sound like just the guys to solve our little problem. Walk this way. See this melted block of ice?
How could we miss it?
This used to be our main attraction.
Your main attraction was a block of ice?
Don't be dense.
Our main
help
attraction was
it.
a genuine,
Authentic.
real life,
Bigfoot.
on ice.
Hey, let me get this straight. You want us to go traipsing all over the country looking for a soggy Bigfoot?
He might have dried off
I've
by
never
now.
been traipsing before. Does it hurt?
But Bruno must be returned to us.
He's a brutish, ignorant beast with no sense of right or wrong.
Hey, who isn't?
Besides,
That basically
he's
describes
kidnapped our
both of us.
second main attraction.
Is that the block of ice?
No, it's Trixie, the giraffe neck girl from Scranton.
She
always
disappeared at the
forget
same
she's from
time Bruno
Scranton.
did.
We can only assume that the monster took her when he made his escape.
I guess Max and I could search for your missing freaks, but we'll need free run of the carnival to look for clues.
Yeah, and free corn dogs, so we can uke all over ourselves.
No problem. Here's an all-day free pass.
Why do we need a pass
Leave
if the
everything
carnival's
to us,
closed?
and we'll have those abominations of nature back in your protective care before you can read the Koran.
Didn't he fight Godzilla?
Cool. I don't actually remember what I need the pass for off the top of my head, but I think I know. Is Scranton a real place? Yes, Scranton is a real place. If you've never seen the American version of The Office, Neko, which I assume you haven't, it is also set in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is in fact a real place. I know that one because I grew up in Pennsylvania, which is where I first played this game, just not in Scranton. Let's take a look at this. This is obviously conspicuous.
It's a mange-ridden tuft of Bruno's Sasquatch hair.
I think it would make a swell toupee for balding computer programmers.
Don't be stupid, Max.
Oh yeah, I forgot, the 90s was a prime time for, like, game developers to make fun of themselves as a category. There's probably a good amount of that in this game that just doesn't immediately jump to mind. During that exposition, Demolition asked if Insect Lad in the background is the main character from Day of the Tentacle, Bernard. He is not. He's got kind of a similar vibe, but he's not the same character. Let me just add this to my inventory, and let's take stock of just... I mean, there's really just a lot to take in this room in general, I think. And I don't even know what all has hitboxes. I mean, I think this is supposed to be a silhouette of the Pillsbury Doughboy for some reason. Not sure why.
So this is what happens to unsuccessful third-party presidential candidates.
Wow. I didn't remember that joke, and that seems prophetic towards the way Futurama handles certain political figures in the future from when this game was created. Man or chicken dumpling. That's quite the exhibit. How much would you pay to see that?
He looks delicious.
We got the human enigma.
He's a nice guy, but sort of a drip.
A 90s joke that wouldn't mean the same thing today.
How Kafkaesque. Jesse James' severed hand. And it's still twitching.
Again, this gun, absolutely useless, but this hand in a jar could come in handy. And put that in my inventory. We should probably ask these guys some questions. I don't actually think they know very much to help us, though. Question.
Which one do I talk to?
Me!
Him.
I'll bet life is an unending torment for you guys.
Actually, it's not so bad.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, frankly, I would assume that of most people, even without, you know, their condition.
Where do you buy your clothes, anyway?
These aren't clothes.
Our skin is naturally green and vinyl-like.
Good lord! He's buck naked!
So are you.
Yeah, but I'm cute and marketable.
Is there anything else you can tell us about your escaped Bigfoot?
Well,
He's our Bigfoot. He's escaped. He's a menace to society. What more could you possibly need to know?
He's right, Sam. I don't think my colossal head could retain any more knowledge.
It's like... It's kind of hard to explain. Like, I hope that once we've played some of this game, it doesn't feel as though I've oversold it. I mean, certainly, the thing I could say for certain at this is that this game is important to me, and I love it a great deal. But, like, there's definitely quotable lines in here, but, like, Sam and Max subscribes to the notion of, like, speak quickly and fire jokes fast. Like, we try a lot of things. Not every single thing that's clearly written as a joke is necessarily laugh out loud funny. But, like, I think the culmination of its sensibility and the jokes that do land, like, just work together in a way that I find really satisfying. I guess one of the options, the ghost trick guy. No, this is the guy we encountered at the gate. I don't think we know his name yet. Oh no, the bodyguard guy did say it, right? Conroy Bumpus. Earlier Neko had said that the jar is the jar of Team Rocket, and so we must take it. I mean, that is true. Jesse and James.
What can you tell us about Trixie?
she's a very caring, sensitive young woman.
If you care about that kind of stuff.
She used to sing folk songs to the other freaks in her trailer.
You ever heard a Scrantonese folk song?
No.
You don't want to.
Oh, there was one other
I'll save
thing.
that for later.
She likes her men like the Statue of Liberty.
Go
Green
on.
and rusty?
Tall and dense.
Okay. It's a weird piece of information to give me unprompted.
Who are those guys we bumped into out by the gate?
What guys?
One was a short guy with big hair.
The other one was a tall guy with big hands.
Oh, you must be talking about internationally renowned recording star Conroy Bumpus.
And his assistant, Lee Harvey.
Bumpus? Who's Conroy Bumpus?
He's a loon.
Insane.
And a country and western singer to boot.
Oof.
He actually wanted to buy Bruno and Trixie from us.
Boy, was he steamed when he found out that we didn't have them anymore.
Alright, I guess that'll do for now.
Back to the Bigfoot hunt.
Now that we have passes to the carnival, let's look around. Pretty sure I cannot go in here yet.
I think the lock's already being used to keep me from entering that trailer.
Of course, we must find the bounds of the world at all times. This will continue to be important. Let's look at the Cone of Tragedy.
Cone of Tragedy.
Had to get nice and close to look at it.
4 or 5 accidents a year on this ride.
Neat.
That estimate seems low. May I please ride the Cone of Tragedy?
Excuse us. We need some help, and although you seem dangerously unequipped brain-wise, we've come to you for advice.
Huh?
I feel like that's a really good way to start most conversations. I mean, assuming you don't want help and do want to be met with suspicion and violence.
Whoa, you're a big boy.
That's why I sit down all the time.
Likewise, just saying, whoa, you're a big boy, also a pretty good way to start a conversation, but again, only if you want bad things to happen.
Do you guys all go to the same tattoo parlor or what?
Actually, these aren't tattoos. It's my natural skin.
This must be how all these people ended up at the carnival, huh?
What do you know about Bruno the Bigfoot?
Who wants to know?
We're the Freelance police, and we're in a race against time.
And we're barefoot.
All I know about Bruno is what the Cushmans tell me.
Well, that was useless.
You might want to try the Tunnel of Love, though.
Oh, why's
Rumor
that?
has it that one of Bruno's buddies hangs out in there.
Ooh, let's go, Sam.
Oh, hush.
Why is everyone here naked? I mean, I feel like a lot of people would be if they could get away with it. Also, as Max pointed out earlier, he's marketable, so he sort of gets away with it. But I think this guy's distinct from the owner of the carnival in that the tattoos are his natural skin. I think he is wearing clothes, though. Game's got much more nudity in the 90s. Yeah, I mean, weirdly, kind of. Unless you count all those, like, really uncomfortable, like, games that show up on Steam if you do any search at all. You know the ones.
Do you have any idea what happened to Trixie?
Trixie, the giraffe girl from Scranton?
The very same.
Trixie, the talkative poodle.
She's my best customer. She used to ride the cone of tragedy for hours on end. I loved the way her neck used to whip back and forth when I cranked it up to full speed.
Your sadism is a credit to your profession.
I just like this game very much. Also, I will point out that Trixie is the giraffe neck girl from Scranton, so, you know, if we ever find her, just maybe have that sound effect queued up on your end.
Me and my partner want to ride the cone of tragedy.
That's right, we've lost our will to live.
I'm not supposed to, but what the heck? You two look like a couple of caring, non-litigious mammals. Strap yourselves in, and I'll turn on the cone.
The cone of tragedy is just a very amusing concept. Whee! Okay. Uh-huh. Ow. Ooh. Alright, okay, well, alright, now, okay. Ah. Hey, we didn't die. Just 2 good whacks to restart the heart. Keep that in mind.
Ooh, I feel tragically empty.
Me too. It's as though an integral part of my essence has been ripped from my being.
Let's do it again.
Maybe later, chum.
That's a really ominous description. Alright, before we start exploring any further, let's take a look at what inventory items we have collected so far.
Hey, what happened to my carefully collected box of useless junk?
No, that's gonna be a problem. Maybe this guy knows what happened to our carefully collected junk.
Will you help me?
Depends. What do you want?
Felicia says do it again. Remind me before we leave the carnival. Let's make a little more progress first.
Where'd all my cool junk go?
It must have fallen out of your coat while you were on the ride. Here's a claim ticket. Take it to the Lost and Found.
Actually, I am curious. If you really want to do it again, what happens if I go on with the Lost and Found ticket in my pocket? Do I break the game?
Maybe we should ask the ride operators permission to use this ride.
The 90s, when we hadn't figured out that, like, maybe there should be multiple ways to do an obvious interaction.
Hey, tattoo boy.
What?
We want to ride the cone of tragedy again.
I think you should reclaim your lost stuff first.
Bye.
Interesting.
Swell.
It's interesting that the game is coded that way. Let us walk to here, I think? Not good. The Lost and Found. Talk to Lost and Found? Let me use Lost and Found.
Holy cripes on toast.
Nothing personal, but you're the single ugliest thing we've ever seen.
Well, there was that computer game developers conference.
As I mentioned earlier.
You lost something?
I've lost a whole bunch of neat junk. You must have been gifted with psychic powers to make up your obvious physical shortcomings.
Bad deal.
Have you got a claim ticket?
Sure.
Wait here while I search through the back room. Well, here's
Bigger
all
on the inside.
stuff we collected off the Cone o' Tragedy today. It's all yours.
I feel whole again.
Don't know why the light bulb shifted. Oh, look at this.
Powerful refrigerator magnet that says World of Fish on its side. I wonder how that got in there.
We didn't have that before. But now we've unlocked a new location. If that's the type of unlocking we're talking about before demolition, I've definitely unlocked all the locations. I think I can use this.
I don't think I possess the psychotic strength needed to ring the bell.
Psychotic strength, huh?
Hey, Max.
What?
Can you ring that bell?
Sure.
You're my hero, little buddy.
While we're here, let's talk to this guy. Now that we have permission to walk around and do as we please.
Doesn't that hurt?
A lot. I suppose there's a trick to it. I just haven't been able to figure it out.
Your ineptitude gives hope to all of us further down on the food chain.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that presumably was it. It's a really poor career choice, I think, to try and do something like that without actually understanding the trick.
Are you sure you don't know anything about Conroy Bumpus?
He's a country singer, right? Sorry, but I don't know much about him. I'm more of a Mambo fan. Anything else?
Do you know my favorite Mambo? Mambo number 5? Which also came out well after the release of this game. Hey, Cypher Justin, welcome to the stream. You're excited about this game? I hope so, and I hope it doesn't disappoint. Because this game is great. I enjoy it a lot, and just playing it on stream, I'm like, yep, this was not a mistake. Sometimes you go to revisit a game and you're like, oh no, it's not as good as I remember. It's like, nope, there's plenty to love.
Did you ever talk to Bruno before he escaped?
How could I? He was in a block of ice.
Mambo number 5 is newer than this game. I'm not even sure if that's sarcastic, Castle, but yeah. Mambo number 5 came out in like the early 2000s. It's like 10 years more recent than this game.
What do you know about Trixie?
Absolutely nothing. We never talk to each other. Ever.
I honestly really appreciate, like, this. It feels like this is pointless, but I really like that this game has enough characters to make the carnival feel relatively lived in. It's not so sprawling that it feels daunting or like there's unnecessary space. But, like, this character doesn't have anything to add to your investigation, so you talk to him and he's like, I literally don't know anything. Keep going. Move along.
I bet you can't make flames shoot out of your butt.
Take a hike.
Amateur.
I mean, Taco Bell existed in 1993, right?
Good.
Alright, I promised Demolition I would go on the Cone of Tragedy again. Just walk past the Tunnel of Love. We'll come back to that later. We were already given a hint that it might be important. Only ride the cone by talking to this man.
Hey, Carney boy.
What?
We want to ride the Cone of Tragedy again.
Sure.
Taco Bell was incorporated in 1962. Huh. Good to know. I wonder if this ride is somehow more dangerous with even more people riding it. Ah, my organs. Get a different revival? Nah, same. Would I go on the Cone of Tragedy? God, no. I mean, if you saw it run once and saw, like, the Swiss Army blades coming out of it.
You're so easily jaded, Max. Hey, what happened to my carefully collected box of useless junk?
Oh, man. If only this was preventable in some way. Alright, better talk to this guy again.
Hey, Tattoo Boy.
What?
Where'd all my cool junk go?
It must have fallen out of your coat while you were on the ride. Here's a claim ticket. Take it to the Lost and Found.
Before we do that, though, we're in the presence of some points of interest.
It's a fishbowl magnifying lens.
My head's already shaped like a fishbowl.
This might be, well, I don't know. It might be premature to say that since off the top of my head, I don't remember every single item in the game. But this lens might be one of the, like, least organically incorporated items in the whole game. I really don't understand why it is that, like, in this little Carnival Games tent, there's just, like, a stand with a fisheye lens on it. But I'm gonna put it in my box.
It's a wholesome wak-a-rat game.
That's when he says, "Want to know what's really tragic? The local carnival still has rides from the 1990s." I believe that. I believe that a lot of carnivals still have rides from the 1990s, which makes me less enthusiastic about going on their various cones of tragedy or other emotional states. I think we can use wak-a-rat. I don't know if this is something that's affected by processor speed. I don't remember this being quite as difficult. Like, I feel like they weren't quite so quick to disappear, but maybe I'm just misremembering. I don't think you need a perfect score, but you need a pretty good score to get what you're going for. Oh, I was clicking. I guess you don't need that close to perfect. You only need 20. I think there's a bigger prize than 20. I think there's just the one.
I won something.
Actually, I should check that, because I'm not 100%
It's a
sure.
wak-a-rat game with a prize in the dispenser slot.
What is it? Ooh. It's a flashlight. Well, when we get our stuff back, we have something we might be able to use with that. I'm gonna do this one more time and see if there's a second prize, but I think there isn't. The one that's closest to Sam, that hitbox, is really weird. It does not like hitting that one in particular. I think it thinks I'm trying to click on Sam, which doesn't even do anything. I like that they animated Sam's, like, tongue for this, though, to make it seem like he's concentrating really hard. I don't think there's a second prize. Let's find out, though.
The game must be out of prizes.
Well, at least we know that for sure now. Was this played mainly by me, or did my siblings play? Both of my siblings played this. And also Day of the Tentacle, I think. I'm less sure that my brother played that one. I know we all played Sam and Max. I feel like I might have played this more than the others. But I'm not sure of that.
It's out of order.
Aw, Skee Ball's broken. Nicholas says we should go to Fun Duck. Unfortunately, Fun Duck is not a viable location in this game. Let's see. Yeah, we should probably get our stuff again. No, walk to the here. Notion, did you say that there's something that happens if I go on the Cone of Tragedy again? It's kind of a waste of time, but I'll do it.
Incredible grotesqueness.
Have you lost something?
I lost a whole bunch of neat junk.
Have you got a claim ticket?
Sure.
Wait here while I search through the back room.
I don't know if this is a real process that people use.
Here's all the stuff we've collected off the Cone of Tragedy today. It's all yours.
Back to the office?
I feel whole again.
Okay, well then we don't have to do that again. So let's go ahead and use light bulb and flashlight.
Perfectly.
And take a look at what we've
It's
created.
a nifty flashlight equipped with a black light.
Okay. Let's see. So, we already rode the Cone of Tragedy, played some carnival games, talked to mostly everyone. I don't think you can just, like, talk to Lost and Found guy. We haven't gone on the Tunnel of Love yet, though. So let's go ahead and do that. Did I gain a lot of money that time? No, I gained a lot of money from The Office. Because I've played this game enough times to know that it's hidden in the hole in the wall near the start. Love the Tunnel of Love. I've never been on an honest-to-goodness Tunnel of Love. How many of you have?
Wanna ride the Tunnel of Love?
Yippee!
I like that there's no operator for this one, but you may find out why eventually. Can you just keep going on the Cone of Tragedy until you get all the things? No, that's not how it works. I'll explain later.
Better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. Milton.
Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. David Byrne.
Oh, cool. It's the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Wow, a loving recreation of that Evelyn Morrison classic, Revenge of the Gill Guy.
You really should get out more, Sam.
I hope you like that sound effect. I can't interact with these bats. Or at least I can't look at them.
Another random acts of violence. Just another random acts of violence. Thank goodness today's leaders react more calmly to negative opinion polls. Just another random acts of violence.
Like I said, I really hope you like that sound effect. The Lost and Found voice reminds you of Ben Franklin from Day of the Tentacle. Very real chance that's the same voice actor. I genuinely don't know that.
Well, that was fun.
My little body's covered with swan pimples.
Now, as with everything in the carnival, there may be something else to do there. And in fact, it may involve this very special tool that we created here at the carnival. But I wanted to do a run-through of it without any bells or whistles to give you a sense of what it was like and to get their commentary on all of the things you can look at.
Want to ride the Tunnel of Love again?
But the you only get one new thing from the Cone of Tragedy Lost and Found experience. The main purpose of it is when you go on the Cone of Tragedy, you lose everything in your inventory, and then you can get it back by going to Lost and Found.
Corn dogs, gimme!
Alright, once...
Max. Look what they did to that rat.
Once the flashlight is active, you can,
Why, it's old Mr. McReady, the janitor.
I guess he's off the list of suspects.
It's a fuse box.
This might take a bit of a logical leap, but I know how to disable something.
That's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea. I should have tried it sooner.
Now, I'm really outside of the range of that? I clicked, like, before I came next to it. Ah, the 90s. It really wants you to hit that early. I really didn't think that would be considered late. This is one of, like, 2 or 3 things off the top of my head that, like, have a real timing element to them in this game. I remember this being a little bit annoying. Mostly because I don't think you can speed up getting out of the Tunnel of Love, or maybe I just don't remember how to do it.
That ride continues to amuse me.
I think we're supposed to do something in there, Sam.
I appreciate it. I honestly feel like it's a little bit ahead of its time, the way this game signals to the player. Especially after repeat attempts to do things. Like, it's kind of interesting. Like, the first time you do it, I don't think the comment was something explicit about how there's, like a goal to be achieved in the Tunnel of Love. You're meant to kiss. I think the Sam & Max creator, like, eventually said canonically they're
again.
basically a couple.
You insist?
Like a really weird couple. But I think there actually are allusions to that in this game. Not ones that seem particularly serious at first, but nonetheless. So we turn on the flashlight, and then we grab Max, and then like extremely early we commit to
That's a
this.
good idea. Maybe I should try it when I'm a little closer to the fuse box. That's a good idea.
I wish it would
Maybe
at
that's a
least
good
queue it
idea.
up
Maybe that's a good
if I do it
idea.
early.
Maybe I...
Because, like, I was about here when I tried it before. That's a pretty narrow window. Narrower than I remembered. Now that we've stopped the ride, we can do as we please. Like, we can spook these bats with our blacklight flashlight.
Just another random acts of violence.
Nothing new to comment on, huh?
It's a cheap-looking painting of a castle.
Can
I
I
can't
open
walk
it?
through this door. It's not real.
That's what you think. Max, you got any ideas?
I'm filled with disgust and an odd sense of foreboding.
And?
You're looking hale and hearty, little buddy.
I'm a coffee achiever, Sam.
I wonder where Bruno is.
I'm still trying to figure out where I am, Sam.
I wonder where Trixie is.
I shudder to think of the indignity she's suffering at the hands of that brute Bruno.
I'm concerned about this Conroy Bumpus character.
Don't worry, Sam. We'll mop up the floor with his cheap toupee.
Well, that's all.
Yeah. It's another logical leap of sorts. The Tunnel of Love is one of the things that took me quite a while to get through, because while the things you do in here make enough sense, they're not exactly obvious. We can open that little door over there.
Get off of there, Max.
Why?
Check this out.
I don't know why you would think to do that.
You never did.
But now, as you can see, the door is open. I'm filled with an odd sense of foreboding might be a good sound effect. Yeah, be on the lookout for those. I feel like there's gotta be at least a handful from Sam and Max Hit the Road. And there's one, I don't know if it'll be a point redemption, but there's something I need to get from Sam and Max Through Time and Space, I think is the name of the second Telltale one. I remember buying them all and playing them episodically, and I don't know that they had those same titles on release. Who's that guy? This guy? Do you mean Doug the Mole Man? Let's check out this mysterious location we found before we talk to him. Actually not a lot of hotspots to look at. I think flipping this
looks like
lever...
the Tunnel of Love reset switch.
I think it
It's like
immediately
at the
makes us
bowling
leave. There's like an NES over here? Is that what that is?
Couchus Spudus in his native habitat.
Couchus Spudus. There's a 90s reference for you.
Couchus Spudus in his native habitat.
Don't I think that guy looks like Phineas? Well, I can't say I'm an authority on Phineas and Ferb, but I think I see the resemblance. What is he eating? I think he's... I know he wants us to get him a snack that doesn't look like that. Does he tell us what he's eating? It looks like blue porridge.
I wonder if I left the coffee pot on.
Shh. Sam, the furniture just shushed you.
Who are you?
I'm Doug, the Mole Man. Who are you?
I'm Sam. He's Max. We fight crime.
And we like long walks along the beach. What do you want from me?
Now this is a story that's funny to me. I don't know if anyone else might care. One of my favorite streamers is Day9, and he has like a sort of a show on his channel where on Mondays he plays mostly classic adventure games and sometimes more recent ones. It's similar to the types of things that I'm normally playing on my channel. And he plays them once a week with a couple of his game design friends from college. And they talk about like the history of games and game design and stuff while they play. And so they played through several adventure games while doing this. And one of his regular viewers has the Twitch screen name Doug the Mole Man. And they didn't know what it was from. And eventually they played Sam and Max. And then like Doug the Mole Man was just like primed in chat waiting to like send a message and like didn't say anything in the stream, and then they're like, oh my god, Doug the Mole Man's in chat. I appreciated the effort, the commitment to the bit. But yeah, let's talk to Doug the Mole Man.
Do you know anything about Bruno the Sasquatch?
Bruno the Sasquatch? Why, the stories I could tell you. Stop him, Sam. He's gonna tell us a story. I first met Bruno 25 years ago in Saigon.
Several hours later.
And then there was the time we all had our taxes done by a platypus. And...
A platypus?
Shut up, for God's sake, just shut up!
Perry the
Look,
platypus?
We just want to know where Bruno is now.
Gee, I have no idea where he went. Maybe you should talk to my uncle.
Your uncle?
Yeah, my uncle Shuv-Oohl. He's really into Bigfoots. When I was a kid, he used to tell me stories about giant Bigfoot parties, where all the Bigfoots of the world would get together and dance Bigfoot dances, and...
That's great, kid. Where can we find your uncle?
I don't know. He disappeared a short time after he helped build the largest ball of twine on Earth.
The largest ball of twine on Earth.
I may weep openly. Look, you two seem trustworthy.
Oh, we are?
Yes, you can trust us as far as we can throw you. So if you bring me some pecan-flavored candy, I'll give you my key to Trixie's trailer. I'll also tell you a big secret about how Bruno escaped.
Why not tell us now?
Because I'm hungry.
The exchange, like, you seem like trustworthy fellows. Oh, we are. We can trust us as far as we can throw you. I feel like that collectively describes my entire experience playing Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think he has anything else really important to tell us now.
Little boy Blue Blobs. They've
There you
got
go.
enough sugar to keep me going for hours.
There's your answer. It's Little Boy Blue Blobs. Does that answer satisfy your curiosity, or does it raise only more questions?
What the heck are you, anyway?
I'm a mole man. Figure it out. I think he's a mole man, Sam.
I think he's a mole man. What a dumb exchange. What are you? I'm a mole man. I think he's a mole man.
You know, watching too much TV is super bad for the eyes.
Why do all you squishy, poorly focused blobs say that?
Never mind.
I really like... Is there a way I can get him to tell me another story? I think it's like when I come back with that item for him. Because like Max has like a really visceral reaction to every time he tries to start telling a story.
You can find your own way out.
Like, basically, Max is thinking internally, this classic from Raincoat.
He's talking way too long, and none of it sounds true at all.
What am I playing as in Baldur's Gate 3? I'm playing as, like, a... like, knowledge domain cleric of, like, Ogdan. I was expecting, like, the different, like divine schools or whatever those are called, like to play differently enough that like having Shadowheart in my party would like yield different results. No, it really doesn't. I'm mostly fine with that in the sense that I like having a lot of healing in a role-playing game, but my experience is that healing spells are horrifically bad in Baldur's Gate 3. They're like extremely poor rate of return. So, on like the first like skill level up thing on level 4 or whatever, I started trying to like increase everyone's armor class. I don't think I'm playing the game very good. Playing a rogue and PS5 controls are a severe step down from PC. I've only played on PS5, and frankly, I'm largely quite happy with the controls, to be honest. I'm curious though. I feel like you probably have a stronger computer for that purpose than I do, because I haven't replaced mine in ages, and it was like sort of medium graphics capable when I built it. So why the choice to go with PS5?
There. That should get things running again.
Oh, I will say, getting your party to sneak absolutely sucks on PS5. It is one of the few, like, true, strict downgrades I'm aware of. Like, you have to individually make each party member sneak if you want the whole group to move together and not be noticed. It sucks. It's so tedious. Reach Shadow Heart. I mean, if I'm sneaking, I don't really want to be using real time anyway. I don't know if that's weird on my part. Let's go across the country. Let's go to, like, Nevada or whatever this is. Do any interesting new dialogue here, Max? No, I literally can't talk to you outside. So here's, like, the southwestern Snuckies. Oh, cool. This looks like an inventory item.
It's one of those jumbo-size all-you-can-drink Snuckies cups.
It's almost as big as my head.
God, it's so funny. Like, to look at this cup now, at least in my mind, like, even, like, a medium soda cup these days looks smaller than this. Like, this looks like a modern small soda, and they're like, this is a large, because it's the 90s, and we haven't ruined everything yet. Oh, I see, because my sister's playing on PS5. I forgot that she was. You can separate party members on PS5. You have to, like, go into the character selection and then hit triangle on whatever character you want to separate. You can also then group them into subgroupings the same way you can on PC. It's probably a little more tedious, to be fair. Can I ride this horse?
This is what they do to merry-go-round horses who won't stay with the pack.
What a weird observation. I don't remember there being a corn dog stained glass window. It makes for a slightly unusual number of corn dog references in a relatively short amount of time. Why do the postcards have our face on them? Like, this image on top of this, like, postcard rack is us.
It's a carousel of bootleg Sam and Max dress-up books.
Oh, that's why. Here, give me one of these. Let's show off something. Do I put in my inventory? I think that's how this works. And then...
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. Let's take a look around first.
It's a shelf full of Snuckies crap.
Can I have it?
I can't pick that up.
I can't pick that up. It's actually not a lot to look at, right? I think he also just calls this a shelf full of Snuckies crap.
It's a shelf full of Snuckies crap.
Why are you going that way to
Max.
look at... No, that's not the correct hitbox. This.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
It's a box of pecan-flavored candies.
Hooray! It's the thing that I was told to get. Put that in my inventory. Now this guy is definitely like the same character model as Bernard from Day of the Tentacle.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Hey,
Duck.
Nice hat.
We all get one when we graduate Snucky U. But enough about me. What can I do for you?
Oh, great. A grim look at the dystopian future we're definitely on track for, where you need a college degree to get, like, a rest stop employee position that definitely doesn't pay any better than it does now relative to inflation. Hooray! Right? It's, like, definitely Bernard. It's, like, not close. It's, like, definitely Bernard. It's not the same voice actor. Fairly certain. I mean, maybe it's the same actor deliberately doing a weird voice that doesn't sound like him. But it's, like, definitely not him doing the Bernard voice.
My little buddy has to use the facilities.
Facilities be damned. I need a bathroom. They're in the back. Here's the key.
That's a great
Awfully
line.
Big rasp attached to that keychain.
Out of toilet paper? No, we just had problems with thugs stealing our restroom keys. They're the cleanest in 9 counties.
The keys?
The restrooms.
Need some help, little buddy?
I think I can handle this myself, Sam. Now, anything else I can do for you?
I might need to be quick
I'd
about
like to
this.
buy this.
Do you have any money?
Of course I do. Here.
Will that be all for you today?
I'll also take these disgusting pecan treats.
Anything else?
What can you tell me about these?
That's a box of our world-famous Snuckies pecan-flavored candy, beloved treat of couch potatoes everywhere. Anything else?
It's very specific. I've
Nothing.
missed my window on this.
You have no idea how often I hear that.
No, maybe we'll try visiting another Snuckies, because we'll have reason to.
Here's your key.
Before we do anything else, though, let's go ahead and use this thing we just bought. Scandalous. Terms of service. So at each one of the 3 Snuckies locations on the world map, i.e. the very accurate 1993 map of the United States of America, there is a different, like, road trip game activity you can buy. This is like paper doll dress up. How many pages are there? Just scrolls a little bit further. I don't even know what I clicked. And then the left is stuff for Sam. Yeah, it seems like a good selection. There you go. This one probably has, like, the least replay value. Let me think. I know one of them off the top of my head. What is the third one? And we'll have to find out. Yeah, I mean, we could spend a bunch of time trying out. I think for some reason it doesn't automatically deselect things that contradict each other. So as a result, you could do this for some reason. I'm gonna see them in cute dresses. How do I get out of here? Escape? Cute dresses. I mean, it's not a ton of options for that. We got wedding dress for Max, so we could do that for you. Obviously, wedding pizza. And then, do we have anything for Sam? Doesn't look like we have anything quite similar. I mean, I guess we could put him in, like, groom outfit with a cowboy hat and, like, the holy hand grenade of Antioch. Yeah, there you go. Top hat? Okay, sure. We could give it to him. That's a very pleasant noise. Oh, you know what? We should probably give him his peace sign necklace too. There you go. I think that matches his holy hand grenade pretty well. Teddy. Which side has the teddy bear? There we go. Yeah. I feel like this is everything you could want. I feel like this has some weird, inexplicable thumbnail potential to it. Might have to just decide what the best quote is, because it's one of those text-on-screen games. Yeah, let's go ahead and go pick up the other activities from the other Snuckies locations, and then maybe finish dialogue with the other, definitely not identical Bernards across the country. So we are here. Let's go to the south. There we go. You got your Crawdad statue. I definitely didn't remember that being one of the mascots. I think the last one's a jackalope.
It's a carousel of bootleg Sam and Max paint-by-number books.
Oh, I forgot about the paint-by-number book. We'll have to do that. Let me talk to this guy first, and then address...
Hey, nice hat.
The potential
we all
bathroom.
get one when we graduate, Snucky you. But enough about me. What can I do for you?
See, this one's not wearing glasses. They're basically like Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny.
I'd like to buy this.
Do you have any money?
Of course I do. Here.
I too like the stained glass donut window. I also like that money in this game is binary. You either have the money item, which is truly an infinite supply of money for anything you need money for in this game, which is kind of the way I like adventure games to do it, unless like there's a deliberate nature to it being used as a resource. I don't know, I find that fun. It's like, you found the money item, you can buy things. There you go. I don't know why I can keep asking.
Do you know anything about Bigfoots?
Only what I read in the Weekly International Evening Inquirer Star. Anything else?
Snucky you. That sounds exciting.
Or at least distracting. Oh, it is. Snucky U is where all Snucky's employees are sent to learn the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the overs, and the unders of the amazing gastronomical and cultural phenomenon that is Snucky's.
Fascinating.
No, it's not.
Humor him.
At Snucky U,
This is
we're
all he
given
has.
intensive courses in patty pounding, choosing the right button for soft drinks, and the all-important pickle jar opening.
I
Oh,
had
that's
no idea
right.
you were so rigorously trained.
Hey, I can open any jar in the country.
I forgot. That's an important
No, it's
resource
not.
that we need.
Now, how can I put all that Snucky U training to use for you?
I have a legitimate answer to that. It's to open this jar with a hand in
Hey,
it.
can you open this for me?
Sure, ain't a jar made I can't open.
Putting that 4-year degree to good use. Thanks, definitely not Bernard.
Anything else I can do for you?
Nah, I should be good.
You have no idea how often I hear that.
This place sells skulls and also hand grenades. Well, while I wait for Max to determine if he has to use the restroom. So you start with a black background, so you don't know what you're coloring until you've colored it, eh? Somewhere around here we're gonna need some white. Okay. I think we got sort of a gold sword, maybe like a brown bronze handle. Seems usually wearing blue. Yeah, okay. Can have some gold buttons. Yeah, gold mount, that's normal. Definitely normal. No, let's go with like a reddish color here. I don't immediately remember what color his tie is. I think it's like brown and something striped. This definitely isn't going to look quite right, so I might as well just pick a completely wrong color. Move the box. Oh. Tempting to move the box. Immediately ends the... That's interesting. Alright, well, maybe we'll revisit that later, if people are interested. There's probably some mastery of the controls that lets me not immediately close the activity. Great. Now Max has to go to the bathroom, which is what we wanted.
You're awfully cheery for a minimum wage earner.
All Snucky U graduates have completed courses in excessive and unwarranted cheerfulness. But enough about me. What can I do for you?
My little buddy has to use the facilities.
Here's the key.
You need some help, little buddy?
I think I can handle this myself, Sam. Now, anything else I can do for you?
No,
Nothing.
I need to leave.
You have no idea how often I hear that.
The disrespect. Which disrespect is that? The, minimum wage earner?
Max! Hey, Max!
What?
I have a...
I think we should keep the rasp.
You're probably right. No one deserves to use restrooms that clean.
There we go. I didn't remember that I could talk to him about these things once I bought
What do you
them.
think we should do with these paper dolls?
I say we go down to the scummy side of town and give a bunch of hoods some paper cuts.
That's one way to do it. Yeah, unfortunately the 90s was definitely a time of more rampant disrespect for minimum wage earners. I feel like it's really only in the last few years that there's been more of an appreciation for, like, maybe we should just respect all people as people and not assume that some people should not be paid a living wage. At least here in the US. Other places probably have their act together a little better than that. But again, this is historically accurate 1993 United States of America.
Want to do some painting, Max?
You know us lagomorphs are colorblind, Sam.
That's weird. So am I.
It is true. It is an odd fact. Alright.
That's all.
So we've got that rasp. I don't think we need that for a long time. I don't know if there's a second use for it. The one that comes to mind is not for a while. We do still have one more Snooky's pit stop, and I think we don't need to visit them ever again. So let's go to the Midwest. There you go, there's your jackalope. And this one has the best roadside game activity challenge. What hitbox do you think that I hit? Where's colorblind compared to the mantis shrimp?
It's a carousel of bootleg Sam and Max portable car bomb games.
I don't think I know what you mean by that, Demolition. How many colors does the pistol, the mantis shrimp see? We didn't talk to this guy.
Sharing this experience with you has reminded me.
I want twinklies! More twinklies!
Excuse me.
What?
Yum yum.
Excuse me.
What?
You see 20 compared to R3 or 4? Oh man, I see like 16 bits of color or something. Here, let's give this man a bomb.
I'd like to buy this.
Do you have any money?
Of course I do. Here.
Will that be all for you today?
That'll be all.
So what is car bomb, you ask? Well, car bomb is battleship. It's just battleship. You get all of these vehicles.
Finish setting up your half of the board, doofus. Finish setting up your half of the board, doofus.
Oh, the hitbox on the cars is super weird. I was trying to click this one, and I thought I was clicking the bombs, which, like, starts your turn. Sure. Oh, and you get 2, like, spring traps, which if they land on them, it bombs, like, the space they picked on their side. I'm gonna put them on either side of my one space car.
Whenever you're ready, take a shot.
Now, I really like the car bomb minigame because when you just need a break from the game but don't want to stop playing, you can just play Battleship with the AI.
Not there. Miss.
Miss.
Now, I don't know that we would play an entire game of Battleship, but...
Miss.
Hit.
AI is clearly cheating. I think also there's these 2... I'm covering one of them, but there's like 2, like, missiles. I think they hit multiple spaces. Yeah.
Miss. You took out one of my trampolines. Miss. Miss.
Taking out a trampoline without hitting is actually pretty good.
Miss. 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 Miss.
Well, we found a lot of places it's not. Might as well just burn this.
Miss. 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 Hit. Miss. Miss. Hit.
Miss.
Hit.
Well, we've found something of relatively large size.
Hit.
No, we found the whole camper, huh?
Hit. You totaled my trailer.
Hit. You destroyed my DeSoto.
Anyway, I feel like that gets the point across. I just wanted to give a little sense of those things. I've seen some people play this game and not show off the weird mini games, and I feel like you should get a sense of what's in the game. It's like it's a whole Battleship.
You're thinking too hard.
They just programmed the entirety of Battleship into this game for fun. So let's, I think. Oh, he says a line that has stuck with me forever when you try to leave.
Lord, I'm tired of this drivel.
Lord, I'm tired of this drivel. Alright, so I think with that we've done everything we can do at Snooki's. I don't think we actually ever have occasion to come back here again. But before we go, just enjoy the ice cream stained glass. Yeah, I really like Lord, I'm tired of this drivel. I can't tell you how many times I've like thought that to myself and had to either stop myself from saying it because it sounded too dramatic, like it would actually hurt someone's feelings in some situation, or just like would require too much explanation to be like, why did you say such a specific weird thing? So yeah. We got the treats for Doug the Mole Man. So let's see if we can wrap up the carnival. I think if we follow this line, we can do everything we need to at the carnival for at least a really long time. I think maybe the entire game. Now, granted, it helps to know the game really well, because like otherwise there's a lot of back and forth in this game. Like there's actually quite a lot of unique locations in this game, especially for something made in 1993, and there's like kind of a lot of like characters that all are voice acted. Like it's a pretty ambitious game for its time period, but it also means that if you don't know what you're doing, then it can take you quite a while. I don't remember if I have to manually short out the Tunnel of Love every time. I think I actually do. Is him the mascot for the Tunnel of Love? No, that's like way too serious of an actual demon to look like him. Okay, you don't. For some reason, I thought you did. Let's go ahead and give this mole man these pecan treats.
Here, I thought you might like some candy.
Thanks. Pecan's my favorite. Hey, you're all right. Take this key as a token of my appreciation.
It's interesting to me that all of that dialogue is phrased in such a way that it assumes you, like, won't get the prompt from him to buy him that candy, but you'll buy candy and try to randomly give it to him.
This is some key.
Okay, Sam, let's get the hell out of here. Wait, I've got a great story you should hear.
Keep it short, kid. My partner's got a low tolerance for long stories.
Well, it all started the day before today. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Got him.
It's not widely known, but Trixie had fallen in love with Bruno.
Ah.
Every night, she'd sneak into the freak show tent and read to him what she imagined to be his favorite bedtime stories.
She just assumed it's fine.
She seemed as happy as a self-mutilated parody of nature could be.
Giraffe.
But she could never truly be happy until her beloved Bruno was free. Finally, she decided to do something about Bruno's predicament. She begged Flambe, the fire breather, to free the Bigfoot from his icy cage.
Giraffe.
And wait, that guy said he never met Bruno.
Flambe took pity on poor Trixie and liberated Bruno. And the happy couple haven't been seen since.
It's quite the gamble, really.
Story, ain't it?
Oh, we're done talking. I just have the key now. This is the key to Trixie's trailer, by the way. It's a key. But yeah, I mean, it's really quite the gamble, I think, to go to the trouble to, like, thaw him out and, like, hope that he reciprocates your feelings. Like, I don't even have that kind of luck talking to, like, people of a compatible species with me. The tie was black and blue. Now we know for the coloring puzzle. I mean, it's not so much a puzzle as an activity, but yes. Is there anything else to say to him?
Hey, Spud.
What?
Are you sure there's nothing more you can tell us about Bruno?
I've told you all that I know. You should really talk to my uncle, Shuv-Oohl.
Should try to use Max on him. Frankly, you should try to use Max on everything.
You can find your own way out.
There's not that many things it actually works on, but you should really always try. I mean, if you're playing this for the first time, you should absolutely try Max on everything, just because, like, you might be surprised by the things that you actually need to use Max on.
I don't think he'd want that.
I think Max would. The Mole Man, maybe not.
The Tunnel of Love is already operational.
So I think we're supposed to talk to the fire breather, even though I don't think he actually gives us very much information that I remember. I could be wrong about that. Oh, but I suppose I should go to the trailer first. As unpleasant as Phineas Mole is, you should still lick and or bite him. I feel like... I just feel like you're going to be disappointed by the vast majority of adventure games forever, Neko. And I'm sorry that that's true, but, like, you could make your own adventure game where licking is really important. It's very few where that's actually
Max,
true, regrettably.
What? Watch this. Well, this is undignified.
Oh boy!
Boingy, 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 boingy.
It's a hope chest.
I hope it's filled with more gold than my poor eyes can stand.
Hey, there's a neat costume in here.
Oh yes, I'll need that later for sure. This is besides the best adventure game was already made, Blade Runner. Oh man. Are you talking about the old Blade Runner game? That I think got like a remaster not like a few years ago or something? Hey Arcadius, welcome to the stream. Yeah, for some reason I feel like this game is largely up your alley. Does it make you feel any better, Neko, that there's like a poster of a cat wearing like a Paddington Bear hat in the background? Is that any consolation for the lack of lick button?
Ooh, they're genuine Scrantonese potions of fertility.
Let's take them.
I don't think we should risk being any more fertile than we already are, Max.
What an insane thing to say. Finally remastered. Yeah, I actually watched Day9 play that on his adventure game show. And he got, like, really goofed up in the sewers. He had a really bad time in the sewers. Because, like, there's, like, shooting action elements in that game, and it's, like, really easy to die. Like, really easy. Fascinated by the bed bouncing animation. It will be constant until we leave this scene. The best adventure game is King's Quest Chapter 2. Many people are saying this, Alcadius. Ah, gonna want that too.
It's a scorecard from the Gator Golf Emporium in Roomy Eyes, Florida.
What could be greater than golf with a gator? Now, what's funny about that is I'm not entirely sure, but I think this predates the quote-unquote board game of Gator Golf. I want to say that was like a mid-late 90s thing, and this game came out in 93, which means it would have been developed like late 92, early 93. I don't actually remember what day during the year this came out.
It's a big closet.
Trixie's a big girl.
She's a giraffe girl. There's a board game called Gator Golf. Well, there's a quote board game. You should look it up, Neko. Maybe find a 90s commercial of it. It's a little, like, motorized gator that, like, scoots randomly around the room, and you're meant to try and put a ball into his mouth, and if you are successful, it, like, rolls up to his tail, and then he launches it so you can keep golfing. Came out in 94. That's interesting. So this game does predate Gator Golf, and yet it still begs the question, what could be greater than golf with a gator?
I'm filled with disgust and an odd sense of foreboding.
And?
Why is this game called Car Bomb, anyway?
To avoid getting the pantsuit off us.
But you don't wear any pants.
Don't remind me.
Would that be a sore point?
Well, that's all.
I think that might actually be everything we need from the trailer, as weird as that seems. I would think that there's something more pertinent to the investigation than a scorecard for mini golf and, like, some coveralls. Let's talk to this guy and get the heck out of here.
That must hurt.
It does. Is there anything else I can do for you?
How about we talk about Bruno again for real this time?
You can drop the act. We know it was your kerosene-soaked breath that freed Bruno.
And we know that you sometimes go for days on the same pair of socks.
Okay, you got me. Just don't tell my bosses.
Maybe we should rat him out, Sam. The thought of him out in the streets drinking lighter fluid seems somehow ironic.
It's scary to watch you wrestle with abstract concepts, Max. How'd Trixie talk you into freeing Bruno?
She charmed me with her feminine wiles. She also promised to pay me $20.
It's about the same.
Are you sure you don't know anything about Conroy Bumpus?
He's a country singer, right? Sorry, but I don't know much about him. I'm more of a mambo fan. Anything else?
No, I guess we really don't get anything
Could
from
you show
him.
us something neat?
Sure. Anything else?
That's pretty neat.
Good.
Just reminds me of that CDI Zelda. You killed me! Good. Hey, Jake, welcome to the stream. You know what? I just can't get this question out of my mind. What could be greater than golf with a gator?
This would look great in our office.
Should probably go back to the office at some point. There's not terribly much more to do there. In fact, I don't think there's anything else to do. Ooh, but there's something to do right here.
What is it?
It looks like a couple of snakes.
Everything looks like a couple of snakes to you.
Yeah, well, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a couple of snakes to you, am I right?
I can't use these things together.
Classic adventure gameism.
It's a broken golf ball retriever.
Cool. I'm gonna want to do some weird stuff with that later, I promise. This sign?
It's about time they closed this senseless, cruel, politically incorrect attraction.
It was my favorite.
He says, I've been trying to sleep, but my back has been hurting. I was looking at a foam roller, but it's $33. Ugh, that's rough. Yeah, I've been having kind of a rough week. I've just been, like, feeling, like, fatigued and, like, achy pretty much the whole week without any real explanation. And, like, no other symptoms, so, like, I don't think I'm, like, sick or anything. But, like, it hasn't been great. The freestyle with a crocodile, clearly worse than golf with a gator. I mean, I appreciate the inquisitive mind, Neko, but, like, I mean, come on. That's not greater than golf with a gator. Let's talk to this character, who's, like, definitely a normal human.
I find your combination of golfing and alligators almost Dolly-esque in its dissonance.
Ditto. Wish it'd have been my idea. Fact is, this place used to be a miniature golf course. Then, back in '89, the swamp flooded the whole shooting match, windmills and all. Next thing I knew, I had a half-submerged miniature golf course crawling with 10-foot-long gators.
I hate when that happens.
Time makes fools of us all.
So I turned the golf course into a driving range.
Do you know what this thing is?
That used to be my golf ball retriever. One of the gators bit the end clean off it. Until I get my new one, I have to get the golf balls out of the water manually.
Isn't that dangerous?
Take a look.
You know, I wanted to explore this place in full, but there is actually some place I should go before I advance, and it will become clear in a bit why that's true. Did I see the new emote slots? I did. That's bad information for me, because I will want to fill them with more emotes. Whereas really butting up against the limit there with the addition of the holiday emote. But I'll certainly take it. And any recommendations on what it should be. I guess we can ask him about big feats.
So what kind of handicap does your average Bigfoot have?
Bigfoot? Don't get me started about Bigfoots. I used to have a Bigfoot. He was my star attraction.
I used to have
I'm
two.
getting the sense of theme here.
I kept him fed and sheltered. And how does he repay me?
In 10s and 20s?
No, he ran away.
Did he have help?
Well, someone must have given him that there acetylene torch to cut through his protective ankle wear.
Uh-huh.
Protective ankle wear?
Okay, shackles.
Thank you, Demolition, for the 1,000 bits to contribute to the new emote slots. Thank you.
What do you think of Conroy Bumpus?
Conroy Bumpus? He's my idol. I've named all my kids and pets after him.
I named all my kids after him.
I live for the day when I can meet him in person. Why do you ask?
No reason. This must be a popular teen hangout.
It was. Then we had that problem with the Jenkins kid. Court made me destroy my best Gator over that. Well,
Jeez.
What can I do for you?
This is maybe an emote that embodies fear and great concern. I mean, we have curse and random, which I think are both along those lines.
Don't go anywhere.
Where would I go?
They didn't animate anything below my torso. Let us go. Normally I wouldn't change mid-stream like that, but like there's a certain something we're going to need. And I don't want to get stuck in a particular... Maybe I have to go to the ball of twine first to really set this up. These three locations are kind of intertwined, if you'll forgive the pun. Let's talk to this weird caricature you may or may not enjoy. Maybe a Yikes Forever. What does the Yikes Forever look like?
Rumbling.
You should have thought of that before we left.
That's also a great way to start a conversation, is I hear a distant rumbling. I don't know, I always kind of thought that the Vasco Rage is like a pretty good raid emote, although I don't actually ever raid, because some of the times I have, it's like for someone in the same category, and it's been like, this is a person whose vibe I don't actually like, just had a similar game. Any questions?
Weird.
A little bit of an understatement,
Thanks
perhaps.
Anyway.
I forgot I was like technically talking to him already. Something like an I agree? That's not a bad idea. I don't immediately know how I would incorporate that.
Something fishy's going on here.
Congratulations. You're the 200th person today who said that.
What's the deal with that helicopter?
What's the deal with that helicopter?
That helicopter is the bane of my existence. Every time I catch enough fish to fill a net, the helicopter swoops down and carries the fish to the Ball of Twine Diner in Central Dis, Minnesota.
How sad.
I know. It's like being stuck in a Norman Mailer novel.
What do you know about Bigfoots?
My great-aunt Lois married a Bigfoot. He used to shed all over Grandma Phyllis's upholstery.
Have you seen Conroy Bumpus?
No, I try not to listen to country music. When I do, I usually have an uncontrollable desire to drink a lot of beer and do illegal things to farm animals. You too?
I'm glad we're domesticated, or something.
I love all your movies, especially the early funny ones.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I must have confused you with someone else.
Perhaps, Woody Allen? Perhaps?
Don't move. That's a large fiberglass fish.
There are a number of large fish around here, that's true. Sign says fish feed. Is there fish food to feed the fish at this fishing spot? That'll do. Couldn't remember if I had to get that from the ball of twine. So let's finish Florida first. Throw Max into the net. No, nothing so convoluted as that, Demolition. Don't worry. We'll have occasion to tool around with the net. Hopefully by my tone you understand that we'll be doing much more convoluted
Max, let's go.
than that.
And the proprietor has no idea what happened to his Bigfoot?
That's what he said, Mr. Bumpus.
That guy has...
Lee Harvey, I'm beginning to think that vast unseen forces are aligned against my quest for a Bigfoot.
Ditto.
Ditto? Hey, look it! It's those two, what was that word, Sam?
Misanthropes?
Yeah, misanthropes. What are you, anyway, the president of the hair club for short people?
This is Mr. Conroy Bumpus, famed country and western star. I'd suggest you show him some respect.
Yeah, well, he looks like a lounge lizard to me. And I'll bet his scalp itches from that bad rug. Maybe you should watch yourself, little furball. Yeah, well, I've got more hair on my fuzzy little butt than you do on that hollow country head of yours. Okay, I've had enough. Nobody makes fun of my hair.
Like 3 or 4 times in one sitting. Violence fight!
Hold still, you flea-bitten polecat.
I like that he's still fighting while defeated. There's just something about that character detail that says a lot. Yeah, some sort of generic plush emote might be good. I mean, we have Carlos in particular. But something to just sort of embody the collection of stuffed animals, maybe? Don't know exactly what to do for them. For Laugh, we like kind of have got them. We could do something more explicit. Do I have the golf club? No, I put it down after the cutscene. Alright, so... we have something of a weird mini-game here. I think there's like a couple of Easter eggs. I think they all require the golf balls.
You like roaches?
And also, I don't remember quite the trick here. I don't think you actually hit where you aim, but like, the aiming isn't as intuitive as like a golf game. Like an actual game designed with like a physics engine to play golf.
Do you like roaches?
I like that he throws the tie over his shoulder. It's a good touch. I thought you could... do I have to hit him in the head? I think there's something the sea serpent does. Yeah, he does googly eyes. And then... let's do the windmill last, because that I remember. I think if you get in... the eye hole of the skull, it does something. Sure takes his time to line up those swings every time. Yeah, that's not bad. About... monkey's mouth? Can we hug the gators? I mean, you can certainly hug any gator you find once. You may not love that experience. In this video game world where you're somewhat constricted on the actions you can take, not exactly. hit the clown's nose? Maybe I have to hit the nose. Just kind of want to show off all the little things you can do here. There's one for basically each of the things visible, I think. Remember the clowns. Fair enough. And then, I don't think it'll be a surprise to anyone what happens when you hit the windmill. Fantastic. Now one more...
Get me the hell out of here!
Quiet down. Let me teach you a lesson. About patience.
Hey! Nya, can't dunk me.
Well, as much as I would like to help my friend Max, I'm not going to be able to do it with these golf balls. Which is why we had to go and get those fish. And now it is time to golf with a gator. Or several, in fact. Now, our goal is to make a path using the gators to reach the dunk tank so that we can free Max.
Nice alligators.
Getting the alligators to go where you want is a little wonky, even when you sort of understand this concept. Let's start back here, I guess. Wouldn't it be faster to golf bombs at things? I mean, the bomb that I have in my inventory is the battleship game. It's not an actual bomb, despite looking like a cartoon bomb. So yeah, one of the problems is that, like, there's a certain amount of momentum that the gators have that's kind of hard to anticipate. So, like, sometimes it feels like you can actually just hit the fish where you want the gator to go, and sometimes it'll overshoot it. And I've never really internalized... See, like, that time, like, I didn't move where I was aiming that shot, and the second time he went where I wanted, and the first time he didn't. So... I think if I shoot here, that'll hit the next line. I think I pretty much want them to line straight up the middle. I think there's a little bit of leeway. I think that's why they're so long across, is that the game will be a little forgiving about exact placement. I think it is the case, and I may be wrong about this, that if you just, like, target the spot you want the gator to go and try, like, 2 or 3 times, it will eventually stop where you want it to, but... it might be a little trickier than that. Like, that I think is good. I think this guy is fine where he is. The bottom one I'm not sure of, but we can leave him for last and try it. So do that. Swing again. And then just hit that same spot again. Be a little bit of a quicker turnaround between hitting the button and the shot. Now, gators are pretty cute, right? Let's see if we can walk across this. I'm honestly not sure. I think we'll have to move the bottom one, but I am not certain. Yeah, if he doesn't like that, I think we have to move the bottom guy. Which will give me an excuse to test this while we're still here. I think with fish you can trigger at least the dunk tank. I don't know if you can trigger all the other weird little Easter eggs.
Hey!
You could bite the fish? Go on, Neko. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Let's try that again. You moved over the fish, the teeth icon appeared. Teeth is exclusively talked to in this game.
Hey!
Hey, you've made a path across the driving range.
No, I forgot the game tells you when you finished the task. Just in case you do it accidentally, which I think is reasonably likely.
Geez, that certainly took long enough.
Shut up, Max. I hate that game.
Is that because you're a lousy golfer?
You're an irritable bunny today, aren't you?
Yeah, well, why don't you try sitting in this smelly booth while I beat the hell out of helpless fish?
Maybe I should just leave you there.
Did I mention what a lousy golfer you were?
Such good friends.
You suck, Sam.
I just have to open it? I don't think there's any tool for this. Fair enough.
Hey, Sam!
Hey, what?
I found another sample of Sasquatch fur and mange in the booth, while I spent my young life waiting, just sitting there, in that horrible booth, waiting.
Jeez, Max, get over it.
Okay. Here, you carry it.
I do have all the pockets in this relationship.
Put it.
That's none of your business, Sam.
I think he would put it the same place that guy at the end of Raincoat put that note. Is this something? Don't actually remember what goes on in here.
It's a snow globe from the Mystery Vortex in scenic
that's where I get that.
Washington.
Let me see.
Take a look.
Too bad it's empty or we could shake it.
Ah.
Like this?
Yeah.
Incredible
What's that writing
1993
at the bottom of the
graphics.
To Elmo the Bigfoot. Keep on truckin'. Shuv-Oohl the Mole Man.
Hey, maybe Shuv-Oohl's at the Mystery Vortex. Let's go
Could
there
be.
before I'm distracted by something.
And put this snow globe away. Look how many inventory items I have. I haven't been playing that long. Granted, 3 of these are optional mini-game items. Yeah, I think we should probably head to the Ball of Twine next. Just for Neko, I guess we can, You're right in that it shows like it could do something by opening up, but it doesn't actually do anything. That's my favorite inventory item. Currently or in this game? The snow globe is pretty fun in the end. Pile of infinite money is genuinely an inventory item I like a lot, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, Max probably has to be the best one. But setting aside him because he is his own person and not solely an inventory item. The ones I currently have, I don't know, Fish Magnet is, I just like the way it looks. But I do also really like the Snow Globe. Probably one of those two out of what we currently have. Here's this dress-up game. That's fair. I'm a big fan of the Battleship game. I played a decent amount of that as a kid. I mean, you could just play Battleship. Just built it in. It's just like a great little feature in this game. It's like you could just play... Actually, hang on. I do have a gripe with this guy. He said he named all his kids and pets after Conroy Bumpus in anticipation of the day that he met him. And Conroy Bumpus was already here at Gator Golf, and the guy made no mention of it.
I need some help.
What can I do you for?
What would you say if we told you that Conroy Bumpus was a festering boil on the buttocks of humanity?
I'll have to feed you to the gators.
Just checking. Don't
Okay,
go
we're just not
anywhere.
going to acknowledge that.
Where would
Don't
I
worry
go?
about it. What is next to hand? This is a pile of Sasquatch
It's a
fur.
swatch of Bruno's fur and mange.
I assume you mean that and not the fish magnet. The fish magnet is a vaguely fish-shaped magnet that is definitely magnet-shaped. But I assume you meant the other thing, because that's definitely less obvious. Yeah, let's go to the largest ball of twine in the world. I've always liked this environment. The idea of the world's largest ball of twine is obviously silly. It's very much the type of thing that would be like a roadside tourist trap, which is what the vast majority of locations in this game are meant to evoke. But like we'll check it out in a minute, but there's a rotating cafe up there and this like incredible 1993 3D graphics gondola thing. So it was a beautiful way with words, even if his toes are disturbing. That's a great quote for the back of the box, Neko. But yeah, I mean, just generally the way with words that Sam and Max have make them incredibly endearing characters to me.
Fun facts about the world's largest ball of twine. If laid out from end to end, the ball would stretch from here to the far side of Jupiter. Also, scientists theorize that by 2053, the sheer weight of the ball will push the Earth out of its orbit, propelling
like that
our
Futurama
planet on
episode with the
collision course
garbage.
with the sun.
Good thing my life expectancy is only 6 years.
Way to take the short view, little buddy.
I honestly don't remember what this guy has to offer. I think he just prompts you for some of the puzzle solutions.
Let me guess. Your suit is entirely made of twine.
Actually, I'm the docent of this here museum. Now, what can I do for you?
You haven't seen an 8-foot-tall woodland creature answering to the name of Bruno around here, have you?
Are you talking about Bruno the Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Inexplicably,
He and
yes.
a bunch of other Bigfoots helped build the ball of twine back in '56. Why, the stories I could tell.
No!
Not stories!
Today. Have you seen Bruno recently?
I haven't seen Bruno in 30 or so years. Is he in trouble?
That depends on your definition.
I like to use the one that involves spiny echidnae.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with?
I like the subtle implication that despite the fact that we've driven back and forth across the United States like a couple times already in our navigation of the usable location map in this game, that everything takes place in one day.
What's with all the fish guts flying past the window?
Those are leftovers from our last fish delivery. Our famous rotating restaurant has fresh fish flown in every day from the world of fish in Mosquitaville, Missouri.
Oh, it's another way you can get the fish location, I guess. The fact that he says where it's located should mean that that's a flag for the game to add it to your map. That's interesting. I did not remember there being 2 prompts for any location off the top of my head, but certainly not this.
Passed through here.
Who's that?
He's a country western star gone berserk with power.
I wouldn't know him if I saw him. I don't get out much.
This ball isn't really made from a continuous piece of twine, is it?
Yep, it's the longest piece of twine in the world by 92 yards.
It's surprisingly not that much of a gap.
Stop staring at me.
I can't help it.
I am a talking dog in a suit.
That'll be all for now. It's a 1/200,000th scale model of the actual ball of twine.
And it's only 1/200,000 as stupid as the actual ball of twine.
Got him.
According to the plaque, this is a shaving from the first foot of the ball of twine.
I didn't know it was old enough to shave.
Second shaving joke of the evening for some reason. Like I says, I appreciate when games provide multiple ways of learning information. I do too! I just didn't remember this game having that. And it's interesting. It's true that you need the fish location relatively early, so it's probably good that it's a little more redundant than most places. I wonder if there's like another way to find the mystery spot in particular. I think once you've clicked... Oh no, I thought I remembered it like waiting for you. I thought it like comically just like waited despite the fact it should have left. No, I must wait for it to come back. A victim of another timing element, as always. You know they always work out well for me. I could just...
Shake a leg, Max.
Meow.
Hey, look!
feel like there's probably a better
That's one
system.
long loose end.
Too bad we can't reach it from this side of the deck. You always need a large piece of string in games like this.
That's so true. You always need a large piece of string in games like this. That's like one of the most direct clues I can ever think of in an adventure game. Is just being aware of the fact that adventure games work that way. Oh, here's a character who, like... I don't know. I feel like this was probably funnier in 1993. This is probably one of, like, the least good characters in the game. You might still enjoy him. I don't know. Interesting.
Did too.
Did not.
Would you two shut your traps? I'm trying to concentrate.
What you doing?
Using my telekinetic powers to bend my tools.
Why?
To help me fix the rotating mechanism on this diner.
Well, that makes sense. Hey, lay off the swearing. We're trying to appeal to kids.
Get bent.
Should I even bother asking you about Conroy Bumpus?
No.
Have you heard anything about Bruno the Bigfoot?
Who that? Is Bruno the Bigfoot?
Sam, he's speaking in tongues.
What are these malformed tools good for?
Lots of things. Like scratching those hard-to-reach places.
Every place is hard for me to reach.
Would you like a free sample?
Sure.
Go ahead and take this one.
Thanks.
Sweet, inventory item. But yeah, I mean, like, this guy's whole shtick is just that he censors swear words. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that was edgy for, like, a game with voice acting this early on, but, like, it's not that great a bit. I will say that it works better in the relatively small dose that this game expects you to interact with this character, as opposed to, Thimbleweed Park, a game that came out, like, a few years ago now. I haven't played it myself. I watched, like, a decent amount of it played. There's, like, a whole entire, like, angry clown character whose whole bit is swearing like that, and he ends up being, like, a playable character, and you use him for a while, and it's not funny. It's, like, definitely not funny.
Well, bye.
Is that the Duck Hunt duck, or does it just look suspiciously like it? I feel like it's at least intentional, the resemblance. Interesting that there's no one to, like, buy random souvenirs from here.
It's a conveniently located pair of mounted binoculars. These exposed wires look like they're part of the restaurant control mechanism.
They look like overcooked pasta to me, Sam.
You know something? The last time that we had to do some, like, electrical work, we had a certain tool that we used to accomplish that task.
I can't use these things together. I can't use these things together.
How do I prompt the game to let it know that I want to do this? I can wait for it, I think. The main thing I needed to come here for in the short term was for that wrench. Use Max on that guy.
I've got to use this elevator.
I do wish that I could use Max to perform violence on more things. You know, like, what's that game? Red Faction? The, like, game where you could, like, famously just destroy the entire environment if you got, like, a rocket launcher. You could just, like, dig caves on Mars using a rocket launcher. I wish you could just do that with Max. Just instill violence everywhere you go. Luckily, you get, you know, pretty good opportunity to do that. You want to throw a bucket of water on the wires? I'm sure that would have an effect. I don't know if it would be the effect you would want. Fish. Okay, now earlier I said we definitely wouldn't do anything super convoluted with this fish net. I think there's an order of operations, and I might not start with this. Not sure why there's a fish mounted to, like, a metal pole by a bolt here in the first place.
Trick.
And then I think we use fish?
It's kind of wobbly in here. Hey, Max, come here.
Here I come.
Nothing convoluted whatsoever. Don't worry about how natural and normal this all is.
One must admire the skill with which the wily uber trout stalks its prey.
This is one of the 10 most liberating experiences of my life, Sam. Holy mackerel. I'm a trout, stupid. Holy trout. I'd always thought you were made of plaster.
Like Max just reaching his hand out and like just no comment on that. Don't worry too much about these logistics. They definitely make sense.
Now what do we do, Sam?
I'm thinking. What's that noise?
It sounds like you do when you've eaten too much Thai food, Sam.
A distant rumbling. No, that guy's just napping in the water. Don't worry about it. He's totally fine. Oh, we're excited we killed him? Yeah, that guy's dead. You know what? I think if we actually come back here later, he's just like standing there fishing again. And I think that's in case you do this and aren't equipped to get what you're looking for on this side of the restaurant. Because that's possible. I think we have what we need. I've been putting off, like, assembling the contraption because... bonked right off the stupid twine. Didn't want to get ahead of ourselves by making it without having a purpose to do so. Very cartoony sound effect, super appropriate.
I told you I had a plan.
That's, like... One thing I really like about this game is that, like, it sort of, like, already understands the, like, weird conventions of adventure games, like, way before, like, people acknowledge them. Like, to have just, like, such an absurd solution to getting here, and to have him just be like, see, that was my plan. Like, I don't know. I feel like it just gets it in a way that, like, a lot of games didn't at the time. I believe what I... So, we got the golf ball retriever in Florida, and it didn't have anything to pick something up with, so we put Jesse James's hand on it. And now, I think what I need for this moment in time is to put the fish magnet on it, as weird as that seems. Because I think if I use this together...
I can't use these things together.
Do I need Max?
I can't use these things together. Hey, Max,
oh, it's a two-step process.
Plan.
I think I liked you better when you were clueless.
Shut up and climb over the rail. See? That wasn't so bad.
What are you two doing out here?
Any more bright ideas?
Let's start crying like babies.
I mean, that's a pretty solid starter solution to any problem, I think. This is one of the weirdest 90s point-and-click adventures. It is, Jakey.
I don't think we were in a vacuum, Max.
Hey, how will we get our car back?
Oh, this is good. Yeah, but Jakey says it's one of the weirdest 90s point-and-click adventures. It is, but I also think it's truly one of the best for many of the same reasons that it's so weird. But, like, look, they accommodated. See, there was a logistical problem that we didn't have our car, and now it's back. Any questions? I didn't think so. So how do I get the game to prompt me for this?
Words like big and large only begin to describe this thing.
I think stupid and inane would be useful additions.
Not to mention grotesque.
Because, like, I, having played like 4 jillion hours of this game, know that there's an item that I need to obtain from the inside of the Ball of Twine, and I think I do it from inside the museum. I've already been told that the Bigfoots help to construct the Ball of Twine. I thought there was, like, some other way the game could tell you this. Yeah, actually there is, and I will wait for that. I'm not trying to speedrun this. I'm trying to demonstrate the majesty that is this game. So, what we did manage to obtain was the twine.
It's 91 yards of twine.
What was the number? 88?
Don't you ever get tired of sitting there?
Nope, painful splinters keep things interesting. Now, what can I do for you?
I think the reason you get 91 yards of twine is so that this is no longer the largest ball of twine in the world.
What would you do if someone cut off, say, 94 yards of the ball?
We'd shoot 'em, skin 'em, and sell 'em as jerky treats.
I should go.
That'll be all for now.
Alright, so let us go to the mystery spot then. I think that's like the last currently unexplored location, and like if we do everything we need to there, it starts pointing us in the direction of like mid-game stuff. I don't know, I am moving at a pace quicker than I might expect while still being sure to let the game play out like a considerable amount of dialogue. I mean, it's really hard to get an adventure game on this scale to like play every single possible line of dialogue, but I do really want to show off just a lot of it. I think the writing in this game is a lot of fun. Not every joke is laugh out loud, but I feel like there's something just about the sensibility of these characters that just like really carries well.
Sam, this place is making my head ping.
That's probably just the metal plate in your head.
Ping. Let's look at some weird stuff at the mystery spot, huh?
Thank goodness the DeSoto's unaffected by this spooky paranormal realm.
I was hoping it'd metamorphosize into a large cherry donut.
Cherry donut. How do we get the car to do that?
Who knows what makes these inanimate objects dance their infernal jitterbug?
I do. I think they're controlled by a series of really big magnets under the Earth's crust.
You're an ignorant dolt, Max.
Very good. Ever had a cherry donut? I never had one until they opened a Randy's near my apartment. They sell those. They're very good.
Good lord. It's a possessed outhouse.
This kind of thing wouldn't happen if they had indoor plumbing.
Yeah, I don't really like the nature of a floating outhouse. That's very unpleasant. Hey, chat, keep track of any quotes that you want from this game. I think we should begin crying like babies as a solid choice. Maybe one of Max's reactions to being told a story. There was something else that Ditto liked earlier that's not immediately coming to mind. Were there any others?
Mystery Vortex.
So, the Mystery Vortex has a lot of weird properties. If you're paying attention, you've probably noticed that simply by walking around, we're changing size and to some extent shape. Not exactly normal behavior. Don't know if there's a ton that you actually get responses from in here. I think you can actually use the 8-ball.
Will Max and me be together forever?
That's touching, Sam, but ask it something important like, when's our next meal?
I can literally talk to the 8-ball.
Will we ever finish this Verschluggener quest?
Yes.
Might as well ask it as many things as I can.
Will I ever recapture the carefree innocence of my youth?
Outlook, not so good.
Are you lying?
Yes, definitely.
Oh shoot, so which door guardian is the one who always lies? Ah, I'm no good at this one.
Don't play it again, Sam.
Get it? Because famous movie or whatever? I'm extremely small now. I'm extremely small again. You just watched Casablanca last night. Wow, that's quite the coincidence, Cotillion. It's like you knew.
It's a big door. I can't reach the doorknob.
And it's sort of the problem with the shifting dimensions, huh? Alice in Wonderland vibes? Definitely. Also, hey, letters, welcome to the stream. This is one of my all-time favorite adventure games. Sam & Max Hit the Road. I decided that this year I wanted to play through all of the Sam & Max games. Because this one came out in the 90s, and then in the early 2000s, as you may or may not know, Telltale Games got their start by sort of rebooting Sam & Max.
I'd never fit through it.
This place is the Mystery Vortex. It has weird properties to it. So it's definitely doing some Alice in Wonderland stuff to us.
I told you this place was controlled by giant magnets buried under the Earth's crust.
Well, dang.
Yes.
Lucky guess. Alright, now as I've said before, it is important to know the bounds of every location you encounter in this game. This is another one where you can miss out on, this is true, an entire giant magnet, and you will need all of them. Look how finicky that is. Yeah, so I wasn't really paying attention to what door is what. That looks unhealthy. And through the looking glass stuff, that's true. Definitely have that going for us. Let's do like the most inconvenient combination first. Yellow and red, I think, is the one over here. Was that actually... Now, I gotta be honest, when I first played this, while I eventually, like, sorted out the magnet situation here, I did all of this by sheer trial and error and didn't really understand what was going on. So I think... if I remember correctly... those magnets should let us use this door?
Who are you?
I'm Sam. He's Max. We bust punks.
And we're overachievers.
That's cool, man. I'm Shuv-Oohl. What do you want with me?
Hey, Sam, look! Well, this bottled water is a real letdown.
It's so weird that they, like, forced that animation to play, like, totally out of nowhere. Back with hot chocolate. Ooh, that sounds fun. I'm a little jealous, to be honest. Yeah, so basically, you can use the magnets through the mirror by mixing the appropriate colors to go through all of the doors in this room. But this is the only one that actually contains something that's plot critical. So we'll go mess around with them. Frankly, I didn't remember off the top of my head which of the colored doors I actually needed, but it is this particular orange door. So let's talk to this guy. We've heard of Shuv-Oohl the Mole Man before. Start with Duck.
I don't know. Have you got any beef snacks for my little buddy?
Sorry, man. I'm a vegetarian.
Now look what you've done. You've gone and scared Max.
Whoa, bummer. Maybe you should just say what's on your mind and leave.
What do you know about Bruno?
Bruno the Bigfoot?
Why do people keep asking that question?
Bruno and I
surprisingly
go way
few
back.
Brunos.
I've always felt a special kinship with Bigfoots.
I feel the same way about pointy sticks.
Shh. I haven't thought about Bruno for years. Allow me a moment to karmically link myself to him.
If you must.
Hold on. I'm
if you
getting
must.
Something.
I see Frog Rock between Mount Badrich and the world's largest stump. Wait, man, Bruno's in trouble. It's like several voices screaming out in terror, and then suddenly silenced. Sorry, guys, but I can't get a clear psychic image of Bruno. The sad truth is that I haven't been able to concentrate very well since I lost my mood ring in the biggest ball of twine in the world. If you find it for me, maybe I can help you.
That's the prompt I needed. Random Star Wars reference. Keep in mind that this is a LucasArts game. It's not entirely random. Yeah, actually, now that I've reflected on it a little bit during that exchange, I think perhaps the reason that everyone keeps asking Bruno the Bigfoot is that they're frankly quite shocked by our behavior, because we don't talk about Bruno.
Ah, come on. Tell us about Bigfoots.
By telling you that Frog Rock is between Mount Badrich and the world's largest stump, I may already have said too much.
I'm gonna need to know that later.
Sealed.
How can we tell under that mustache?
By the way, I think that might be the single thing in this game that generates randomly between playthroughs, is the location of Frog Rock. So, like, you do actually need to know what he said, whether or not you've played the game before. Is that a very smooth Encanto reference? No, it was a super rough, forced Encanto reference, but it was an Encanto reference.
Could you repeat that bit about your missing mood ring again?
Okay, man. I lost it in the biggest ball of twine in the world.
I think he's trying to tell us something, Sam.
I really, like... Again, I just really enjoy the way that this game plays with adventure game conventions, in that, like, you know, a normal adventure game will have, like, a character repeat their quest for you in case you've, like, saved and walked away from the game and forgot exactly what you were doing or whatever. But I like that, like, these characters just drive the point home by being, like, just, like, a touch, like, self-aware. I don't know, there's something about that that's always really
well, I guess that's
interested
all for now.
Make yourself at home.
Alright, we should probably go to the largest ball of twine in the world again, but while we're here, I think this also just uses the same color frequency we're on. Let's try Tiny Door. It's a cool and normal sound effect.
Stop turning your head inside out, Max.
I can't. Let's leave.
So do we just need red? This is red, and the other, like, big door is also red, right? I think the camera pans when we move to the... Yeah, it's just also red. I thought you ended up needing more colors. You just never use blue? I thought there was, like, a blue door and, like, a purple. So let's turn off yellow. Let's see what gags we get out of the red doors. Then turn on yellow and never change it again, I guess. I like the intensity of the color in here. Really drives the point home as to, like, what you have active. Let's do this door. It's, like, right on the edge of the screen from where I'm at now. Mind the periscope. You don't want to trip on it. I don't know the source of that sound effect. I don't actually think it's the door being open. Might be something in the window in the back there with the dolly clock melting out of it.
Look at all the cheese.
I didn't think they could do that.
Is any of this important to advancing the game? Not at all. Did I come here to show you all the weird stuff in this insanely weird early 90s game? Yes. So we're doing it. Maybe the weird noise does come from opening the door.
I'm becoming a ball of intellect.
Let's hightail it out of here before we lose our corporeal bodies forever.
That's a totally normal exchange. For this game, at least. Alright, let's go reset the magnets, and then go to the world's largest ball of twine. Although, actually, we should probably check, there's another room here we haven't been to yet. We might as well investigate it while we're here. We may have spotted it in the back when we went to the large red door. Echo says, I'm loving this game and feeling incredulous that you played through a lifetime's worth of Raincode when you knew this existed. In what way? Is the brand of this channel not masochistic self-suffering in the pursuit of a visual novel game that's as good as Virtue's Last Reward? Or like a interactive film game that's as good as Heavy Rain? That's definitely the correct high bar for that, right?
Yikes. Gravity's taken a holiday and lost its luggage.
That's not what I'm about to lose. I think I'm gonna throw up.
Throw down.
Whatever.
God, we are gonna throw down. I'm gonna throw down a face down. But yeah, honestly, I've actually wanted to play Sam and Max games on my channel for a while, and I made some, like, allusions to this last year at various points, where I had been waiting. So they remastered, like, 2 of the 3, like, Telltale seasons. Basically 2 of the 3 games. It's kind of complicated the way they were released. But, and they said that they were going to release the 3rd in 2023, and they just didn't. And then, like, right at the very end of last year, they were like, no, for real, like, first quarter 2024, there's a new trailer and everything. We're, like, actually releasing it. I was like, okay, I will start once we finish Raincode, and then by the time we get to the 3rd game in the Telltale series, hopefully it will have released at that point. Did I ever play Phoenix Wright? I played 2 of the 3 original trilogy on the channel, and I know that they just did a remaster for the 2nd trilogy, which does kind of make me want to play through those maybe later this year. Maybe that's the thing to do. Demolition says, so how does it feel going from one of, if not the worst game? Well, it's not the worst game I ever played. The title I gave Raincode at the end of the last stream that we played last week was, I think it's the worst game I've finished playing on this channel. I think that's true. No one managed to put up a compelling contender, and we tried. I know that you pride yourself on being an alternative to quality Vasco, but you don't have to take it to heart. I do. That's what masochism means, Neko. Have I ever played Another Code? I haven't played Another Code, but I'll tell you that I've seen like 10,000 ads for it. Is Another Code actually any good? I tried looking up a couple reviews because I keep seeing ads for it. And it like technically seems like the kind of game I'd play on stream. I get the sense that it's like okay and maybe a little long. And I'm like, I just played Raincode. Echo says the most painful thing is that Raincode isn't the worst game Vasco has streamed. What? No more codes. It honestly could be good. I don't know that much about it, but like, I don't know. The commercials, like the ads I keep seeing are too vague for me to know if Another Code is any good. There's no battling. I mean, like, you could argue that Raincode didn't have battling either, but it kind of thought it did. It's a murder mystery. I mean, you could argue that Raincode's a murder mystery. But Neko, what game were you suggesting is the worst game that I've played on stream that isn't Raincode? I mean, look around this room and make some actual progress.
It's another tuft of Sasquatch hair and mange.
My rabbity senses tell me that this is not Bruno's hair and mange. Or maybe I'm in love.
Well, I'm gonna put it in my cardboard box inventory. And also, like, again, just, like, understanding the adventure game convention. Like, I like that my inventory is just a cardboard box. You've been watching another streamer play it? Okay, so, like, you've been engaging with it, and you've been enjoying it so far. Like, that's a useful data point in and of itself. Could also play the PS2 parody, The Bard's Tale, that got remade. I do feel like I've heard that name somewhere recently. I haven't seen 10,000 ads for it, though. I'd argue Talos principles before another mystery game. I mean, I have bad news for you, Demolition. Regardless of whether or not Talos Principle gets played, there will be more This is a mystery game, arguably. It's not as much a mystery game as, like, most of the games we played last year, by nature of the fact that it's intensely irreverent about whether or not the mystery gets solved. But, like, this genre that we stream, it's, like, 70+% mysteries. Probably something closer to, like, 90. Can I look at the melting thing?
Bigfoot. Museum gift shop.
I appreciate, like, the weird touch of having something that melts up onto the ceiling in the upside-down room. I haven't talked to Max in a while. I don't think he has anything new to say that's location-specific, unless there's, like, a puzzle.
I'm filled with disgust and an odd sense of foreboding.
Oh, that was it. I'm filled with disgust and an odd sense of foreboding. That was what Ditto wanted, isn't it? Yeah, I think these are all pretty generic.
I wonder where Bruno is.
I'm still trying to figure out where I am, Sam.
It's the wrong emphasis for that line,
Well,
by the way.
That's all.
Letter says, do you like escape rooms other than Zero Escape? Last week I played Cube Escape Collection and enjoyed it. Yeah, I saw something about Cube Escape Collection. It's not something that was really, like, on my radar. Is that, like, a fairly... Like, I've seen a couple of, like, video games doing escape rooms, and, like, a bunch of the ones I've seen are kind of, like, okay. They don't seem, like, terrible, but they're not super exciting. I am a fan of, like, escape room stuff in general. Like, I've done, like, a bunch of, like, real-life ones now, including the fabled Zero Escape themed escape room that was in Los Angeles for a hot minute, which is probably the second best I've seen, but my favorite. I think technically the best escape room I've ever done was the one I did last year on my birthday, which was this awesome one in Las Vegas that had, like, a whole, like, video game element built into it, on top of, like, just, like, a bunch of really well-constructed puzzles with, like, a solid, like, through-line narrative. Like, it just had all the pieces that, like, most of these escape rooms I've tried are, like, not doing well. The Zero Escape one, like, was actually a little bit wonky in its construction, but, like, had all the theming, like, really well done. And, like, a bunch of the individual puzzles were good, but, like, the overall cohesion to it was, like, medium. But it had this really interesting thing where, like, much like the Zero Escape games, like, you got split into teams, and then, like, there was an element where you had to try to, like, communicate with teams in the other rooms without talking to them. It's 9 short games for $5. $5 is a pretty good price to try something out, even if I hate it. Hard to beat $5. These days, you can't buy anything with $5. Can't have claustrophobia if you want to do an escape room. That's pretty much true. I imagine that there are some somewhere that are large enough to maybe be an exception to that, but just the idea of being locked in there is enough to make some people uncomfortable. I mean, I know at this point I've subjected my mom, who is in chat, to, like, several of these as, like, birthday excursions in particular. And at first she was very uncomfortable with the idea, just, like, you know, in quite a fair way of, like, not entirely knowing how these things operate as a business. And it's like, no, like, if you don't solve the puzzle, they don't lock you in there forever or anything. That's, like, super illegal. That's crimes. But, like, you know, I think she's enjoyed most of them, or she's convincingly lied about it. And by enjoyed them, I mean, frankly, a number of the ones we've tried have not been very good, but we reminisce about how bad they are. Let's see, Neko has contributed a list of the worst games I've played on stream. World's End Club. World's End Club is very bad. I think when we had this discussion last week, I said that was probably the closest contender Did I have a worse one that I came up with? Like, World's End Club is super bad. And it has, like, a lot of the same problems as Rain Code, which isn't surprising. World's End Club was filled with the most annoying characters. The only characters I really hated in Rain Code were Shinigami and Desahiko. It's not really that bad compared to some of the other Japanese games you played, including Nirvana Initiative. I mean, like, Nirvana Initiative definitely has its faults. I don't think Nirvana Initiative is in the conversation with worst along with World's End Club or Rain Code. Like, I got really annoyed with some of the stuff that happened at the end of Nirvana Initiative that started feeling, like, cartoony and absolutely off the wall. But, like, Rain Code was, like, actively making... I was, like, feeling intrusive thoughts finishing Rain Code. Like, I was really not having a good time. Saw the true experience. I mean, I bet you could sign a waiver somehow. I don't know. You got cotillion? Did Tech's message from earlier prompt that, I assume? I was talking to this lady who's watched us stand here for several minutes. Says, escape rooms make me feel smarter when I figure things out. See, that's the trick. See, that's like the whole, like, as like, maybe obvious as that sounds, that's like the whole point. Much like I'm baffled by, like, the number of video games that are released in, like, the modern era that, like, I just don't think have fun in mind. Like, I'm really irritated by any sort of puzzle game that, like, endeavors to make you feel stupid. The whole point of a puzzle game is to make you feel so smart. So, you know, like, games like Myst and, like, Chants of Sinar that we played last year, which was amazing. Like, those games are great. You, like, figure this stuff out, and you have an awesome time. I mean, like, most of you were here for Me So Far in Lamplight City. That was, like, one of my favorite stream moments ever. Where I just start, like, shouting, like, syllables, and you're like, what is he on about? And I'm like, no, you don't understand! Me So Far! It makes sense! But, like, yeah, I mean, like, Raincode's a perfect example of that. Like, Raincode, like, had one of its characters, like, constantly, like, berate you for, like, not guessing, like, random logical leaps. And, you know, like, had all those quick time events where you would get punished for, like, not figuring out these, like, really asinine details. And, like, you would have, like, seconds to, like, think about things. And you wouldn't be able to consult your clues while doing it. And it's like... This doesn't make me feel smart or like I'm having a good time. Like, this is a failure of a puzzle game. No, but you thought I would interpret that. I mean, it's quite the coincidence, Cotillion. Yeah, Letters, I know you didn't see, like, a ton of Raincode, and I know, like, I will recommend to you a lot of the games that I play on my channel, because I think we have pretty similar taste in games overall. Don't spend money on Raincode. Please don't do it. Exactly, don't pressure the Sol. Like, you totally get it. Letters gets it. Because, like, and I complained about this ad nauseum during that game, but, like, the whole thing is, like, they added, like, timed elements where they didn't make sense, and they didn't add any, like, real challenge to the game. They only, like, made it so you could fail stuff that, like, shouldn't truly be failable. And I just kept getting, like, super mad about it, because, like, what is the point of this? Like, the point should be, like, I solved the puzzle. It shouldn't be that I, like, click the button fast enough, even if I know the correct answer. Like, what is that? Their contenders include Black Sad, Siberia 3, Fades to Black the game. I mean, I assume you mean Untold Legends Dark Kingdom, which I haven't played on stream. That was with Tech back in the day. Black Sad is bad, but, like, not anywhere close to Raincode. Siberia 3 is relatively close, but I think is, like, legitimately coherent enough that it still, like, easily surpasses World's End Club and Raincode in terms of worst game I've streamed. Good. I'm glad that I have some positive influence over the world if I've convinced one person who might legitimately try Raincode to definitely not try Raincode. Still have to get Somnium Files 2. I legitimately think you will like Somnium Files 2. I have some issues with it, but I also had some issues with the first one that I don't think you had. And I think if those things didn't bother you, then you'll probably enjoy the second one.
Stove gib tool ba wonk oi odd taw?
I'm upside down, cutie, not dyslexic.
Oh.
Does he actually
Don't
say
you get
backwards?
tired of always hanging around here?
I'm fine as long as I keep denying the urge to fall or jump.
Don't you get tired of always hanging
Oh,
around
I can't make
here?
him repeat it now.
I'm fine as long as I keep denying the urge to fall or jump.
Raincoat was so bad, I legitimately think Life is Strange 2 would be better. No. Nah. You would have to work so hard to convince me that that's true. Like I've said before, like if you all can find a way to get me to partner status, I will play Life is Strange 2. That's pretty much the criteria you're gonna have to achieve to get me to play Life is Strange 2. So far I've played Life is Strange 1, which I had a lot of problems with. And then I played Life is Strange Before the Storm, which shockingly I liked a decent amount better than Life is Strange, despite every indicator being it would be probably worse. And then there's some like weird tie-in to Life is Strange, some like standalone like mini episode thing that was like horrifically bad that I played on stream that I think collectively everyone has forgotten that I did. If that was longer or a full game in its own right, that would probably be on the short list with these other games that were not great.
I'm looking for a Bigfoot.
You too? I used to have a Bigfoot nap like an ice over there. Yesterday, I stepped out to have my spine recompressed, and when I got back, he was gone.
I hate when that happens.
Spine recompression. Cool.
That is cool. Like fezzes and bow ties. Should play the Expanse Telltale game. Did that come out? I know that was coming out at some point, and then I lost track of the actual release date. I think that was supposed to be sometime last year. Or is it? Is that coming up soon? Did that come out? Now I'm second guessing myself. It should be soon if it's not already out. It is out? Okay. Yeah, maybe spine recompression would help, Jakey, but make sure that your Bigfoot is secured before you go out.
Do you know who Conroy Bumpus is?
Yes, and he was here looking for a Bigfoot. Then he got sick and had to leave.
This place seems to have that effect on people. Do you sell any snow globes like this one?
We used to, but not anymore.
Why not?
Because they were having an inexplicably bad effect on the vortex. With
Tell me
every new
more.
snow globe we built, the vortex got weaker and weaker.
The same thing happens when I watch sitcoms.
So we decided to discontinue the snow globes for financial reasons.
I guess this means you don't have any snow globe stoppers.
You got it.
Are you feeling as mentally unstable as I am?
More so.
It'll wear off in a few hours.
I'll tell you from experience that it won't.
They'll be back.
Back, front, it's all the same to me.
Who here is excited about the fact that we stopped to have this conversation on the upside down screen of all
Can
places?
we try the vortex?
Step right in.
Demolition, if you could like make a note of any and all sound clips you want from Sam and Max Hit the Road, I will try to compile them. I'll probably have to spend like a whole afternoon getting them from like the whole game, but like I will assemble them. I do agree that's a pretty good one. That would be fantastic, Demolition. I really appreciate that. I will do my best to remember them. Oh shoot. I wanted to show off something stupid. Let's do that
Can
again.
we try the vortex?
Step right in.
I got distracted. There's actually a couple more Raincoat clips I want to get, and then maybe never open that game again. I did put up a poll to, like, figure out what we should play on tomorrow's stream, and, like, Castle suggested that we put the Raincoat DLC on there as a joke, and then a bunch of people voted for it, and I started getting, like, actually upset about it.
Wow, the snow globe actually sucked in the pseudo-mystical energies of the mystery vortex.
I was hoping something like that would happen.
Me too, buddy. It's tied at one point. It was. I don't know what's wrong with you
Hey,
people.
it's empty.
They can't force you. Polls are suggestions. That's true, and fair letters, but at the same time, this is a masochist channel. We could have stopped playing Raincoat at any time, but we didn't because we had to see it through. It's like a 70-hour game or something. I don't know. All told, there's probably some way to figure out without just, like, doing all the manual Oh, he's, like, standing right in front of the doorway. That's what's happening. Without just, like, manually doing all the math to, like, figure out from my playlist how much time we spent on that. But it was, like, a 22-part series at, like, 3 3/4 hours length on average. Like, it's a long game. Figured out how to run a poll on Twitter this week. Was proud of yourself. I'm proud of you also, Letters. Because I don't think I know how to do that. If I really tried, I probably could. But my Twitter following is like 0. Please show me my car? Great, thank you. Might be nice to have, like, an inventory item that just brings up the map, but, like, there's very few places where you really need it in this game. Right, so we talked to Shuv-Oohl, and he told us that he needed his mood ring from the largest ball of twine in the world. Let's go get it. Demolition says he'd vote. Yeah, it would be you and my mom would be the poll. And I don't mean to disparage either of you, but I don't think that gives me a suitable cross-section for most polls. That's pretty much the margin of error. Don't have many followers either, thus the one response. I mean, I certainly feel you on that. So, how do I get the ball to engage? Do I just do the thing?
I haven't seen so much twine since that night in Tokyo in '67.
Let's try talking to this guy. I just want to see what the organic way you're supposed to get this done is. Because I'm pretty sure I could brute force this, but,
Hey, dour docent person.
Can I help you?
Is there anything else you can tell us about Bruno?
I can't think of a thing that'll take less than 40 minutes to cover.
Then forget it. I need my information in bite-sized packets.
I actually didn't know you followed me on Twitter, Neko. I most don't pay attention to my follower list because it's been the same for, like, at least 5 years. It's true. Jamplates is the most powerful representative in chat. And to the end, when the poll was tied on Wednesday, she broke the tie for tomorrow. Which, incidentally, we will be playing Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. I also enjoy that no one called... There was, like, a brief period of time where, like, when, like, Twitter started officially going by another name, people in chat were, like, trying to be like, no, Vasco, you need to call it X. And I was like, absolutely not. Under no circumstances will I ever call it that. Like, it is Twitter, it was Twitter, it is Twitter, it will be Twitter, alleluia, alleluia. Not Quern. I'm afraid not. It was tied. And as I told people who were talking about it on the Discord, in the event of a tie, if I don't have a strong preference, I will check with my mom first and then break the tie myself if I have to. And she was pretty close on it, but she opted for Super Mario. And I think that's very appropriate. And frankly, it was easier to set up than Quern, because I couldn't decide if I wanted to try to run Quern on PC, which might be a bad idea, or run it on PS5, which probably has marginally worse controls. The big X as it open reminds me that it's evil and not to spend time there. Yeah, I mean, in a way that's probably good, right, Letters? But at the same time, you don't really want to be reminded of the evil.
What would you do if someone cut off, say, 94 yards of the ball?
We'd shoot 'em, skin 'em, and sell 'em as jerky treats.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember... I know that the mood ring is in the ball of twine, and I know how to get it. I don't remember how you're supposed to, like, learn it from the game. Well, I mean... He told you to go to the ball of twine. Maybe that's all the prompting you really get? If I figure this out before next week, because we're probably not going for, like, too much longer, I will try to make mention of it. Actually, you know what? Let's do a save here. Let's hit escape. And then if there is some prompt and I figure it out, we can, like, load this particular save file and I can show you whatever that is. technically in the lead with Sarah's vote. Well, it is, but I also cautioned everyone that the poll would close on Wednesday, and that vote was lodged today, Friday. You're not going to get me on a technicality, particularly because I've already spent the time setting up Mario, and also, it would take a lot more time to set up Quern, and there's basically none free time between today, now, and tomorrow's stream. Other than like 2 hours that I promise you I'm going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3. So, as I started assembling before, we put together the golf ball fetcher and Jesse James' severed hand and this magnet, and we can use it on the ball of twine to obtain the mood ring. Now, I thought there was some way we were supposed to be able to see inside the ball of twine to get it, to know that it was there to get it.
That was wholesome.
Not to mention physically improbable.
Very true. Gonna put that in my cardboard box. I do appreciate the consistency of this gag. The fish heads just keep raining down. I really like Baldur's Gate. I've had a couple of fairly unpleasant experiences with it, but all the things that weren't that I've liked quite a lot. One of them is the cursed experience at the windmill I already talked about on the Discord. And the other one being last Sunday, I was like starting to approach the end of Act 1, and I just couldn't find an encounter that was on my level to give me like the last bit of experience I needed to get up to 5. So I ran into like 3 different like level 5 encounters that were definitely a little bit too strong for me. And like one of them is like a big spider boss, and I got it down to 6 health despite like being totally outclassed by it. And I had like 3 party members who were barely up, and I needed any one of them to hit for 6 damage over the course of like 3 turns, and they just missed every attack and my party wiped. And it sucked. It was horrible. It was so annoying. Like, I literally killed every other enemy in that encounter and got the boss down to 6 health, and the game was like, screw you, pal! I was very upset about that one.
She's even stronger than my mom.
Right, so we just retrieved the mood ring. The spider boss is even stronger than your mom. I mean, I feel like that's probably true for most of us. I think my mom's like probably like even money to take Spider Queen in a fight, to be honest with you. So I think that says a lot about Spider Queen's strength. It's supposed to be a Twin Peaks reference. What in particular? Just like this weird location here? The mystery vortex?
You're back.
And
Specifically,
we're bigger than a bread box.
3 bread
specifically the mystery vortex is supposed to be a reference to the mystery spot, which is like a weird tourist attraction on the West Coast. It's one of those things like south of the border, if you've ever seen like those billboards. It's something that's like really heavily advertised in the area, I think.
Is this your ring?
Cool, man. Have you found Frog Rock yet?
No, but I don't see how finding it's going to get me any closer to finding Bruno.
Finding Frog Rock's only the beginning, man. Once you're at Frog Rock, you'll need some samples.
Like free cheese samples?
Yeah, man. Bigfoot samples. You know, fur and stuff. 3 of them. Smear them all over Frog Rock.
Put the fur on the rock. Got it. Let's go, Max.
That's not all.
You'll also need some Mystic Mole Man powder.
You must be joking.
No joke, man. Here, I'll get you some.
Ah, good.
Here you go. Sprinkle this Mystic Mole Man powder over the fur when you've smeared it all over Frog Rock.
What'll happen then?
Something wonderful.
Thanks. Let's go, Max.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think the length estimate on time to beat for Sam and Max is for a first playthrough and not anywhere near just like finishing the game. So with that in mind, this might not take us super long. We might almost be, like, halfway done, to be honest with you. I think we're gonna finish Frog Rock and wrap there, because, like, that sort of spins stuff in a slightly different direction. So I feel like that would be a good point to save at. So we got our Mystic Mole Man powder, which is a totally cool and normal thing to need. Yeah. Dandruff? No. It's totally good, safe, organic Mole Man powder. I don't know why it doesn't want to scroll the screen there in that spot in particular. So in order to find Frog Rock, we will need some apparatus by which to scour the countryside. So Dandruff? No! Like, organic flakes of Mole Man that form dust. What's so hard to understand about this? It's definitely not dandruff, because the FDA got really upset about that when we tried to sell it. I think we're gonna... Yep, okay.
Too late.
I could certainly do without this, or just like a call button for the tram or something, but I think they really wanted to show off the cool effort they put in on the 3D animation for the tram, which I do respect for the time period. It's kind of a big deal.
Take a leg, Max.
Skyride. Unfortunately, Letters, you did miss golf with a Gator. If you want to see the Gator golf segment of this game, which is, I don't know, I think it's pretty good. You'll want to check the VOD. Or maybe just buy the game, I don't know. Sam Max Hit the Road is an exceptional adventure game, in my opinion, so I definitely recommend it. Oh my god, just walk into the thing. So we did look at this thing earlier, which has the potential to scour the countryside.
It's a conveniently located pair of mounted binoculars.
And it's even the case that this viewing apparatus is part of a rotating cafe situation, which will make it easier to try and locate something. But it might help to be able to magnify.
I've lodged the magnifying lens in front of the mounted binoculars.
Guess use is probably it, huh? Are VODs only on Twitch, or do I stash them elsewhere? They're both on Twitch for whatever default amount of time Twitch allows. And also I post them to the VascoDaGamer YouTube channel, where you could watch all, like, 70 jillion hours of Raincoat if you hate yourself as much as I clearly do. Okay, so when I leave this screen, I think I should get prompted to do the rest of this puzzle. I should probably have, like, a bot command for the YouTube channel, which I'm somehow only realizing now. Let me get out of this. Escape?
Nerds, this restaurant's rotating too fast for me to get a beat on Frog Rock.
It's a weird emphasis. That's cool.
Now I can control the speed and direction of the diner via these mounted binoculars.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Maybe not.
I don't know, there's just something about the relationship between these two characters. Like, they're just on the same page. Like, they're just the right amount of, like, cartoon slapstick towards each other and, like, sarcastic and irreverent towards each other. Oh, you sub to the YouTube channel? Thank you, Letters. I appreciate that. Here, have one of these. How good the button's working. I haven't tested that in a hot minute. Yeah, you can find all sorts of weird adventure games and visual novels and stuff on there. I think Raincoat predates... Not Raincoat, World's End Club predates me posting stuff. Not a rock lobster. Isn't this the tree stump? Isn't that one of my things? Thought that was. Don't need the Argyle Forest. Maybe there's multiple of that asset. I don't need the Valley of Wonderful Wind or whatever that's called.
Mount Badrich.
Alright. So then it should be probably the next thing. And then this will be the largest stump in the world.
The largest stump in the world.
So yeah, now that I've pinpointed the bookends...
It's a rock. And it's between the two things Shuv-Oohl said it was between. It must be Frog Rock.
But it wasn't a frog rock. It was a frog rock lobster. VLR is some of the first videos. There should be stuff older than VLR. I don't think a lot, but there should be stuff earlier than that. I do have recordings of some of that stuff, but like a lot of it is like before I got my mic settings particularly good. I've messed around with trying to edit some of that stuff for better audio quality. It came out okay, but I still didn't make that stuff live. Oh, I see. Letters is talking about her channel. I see. Didn't start her YouTube until after having already finished 999. I loved your 999 playthrough. Letters, like, your 999 playthrough kept me going through, like, one of the worst times of, like, recent history. Like, when you were streaming, like, 999 and Virtue's Last Reward was, like, the exact time that, like, the sky was literally falling and my apartment was, like, collapsing. And, like, all of the roof space in my living room was just, like, coming down because it was, like, raining in Los Angeles, and my building is, like, basically never up to code. And, I remember that stuff really fondly, looking forward to every single stream. I don't know if I ever really expressed that, but, I really enjoyed that, and was grateful that you played those games, and glad that you enjoyed them. That was, those were some dark times, and that was a highlight for me during them. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to doing Virtue's Last Reward on my own channel yet. I kind of want, like, the next evolution of my stream before I do that, and I have some sense of what that looks like now. Vaguely, of course. And I basically just want to be able... So one of the problems I have here is that this is my living room. It's really difficult to sound treat this in any meaningful way, and also because I live in Los Angeles, it gets very, very hot in here, and there's an air conditioner in this room, but it's the loudest, least effective air conditioner that any person has ever created. So, like, when it reaches a certain temperature, that thing has to be on, and, like, you can just tell, even though I've done a pretty good job of filtering it out, with every means I have a vague understanding about in terms of audio technology, you can still definitely tell it's there because it's just that obnoxious. And I would like not to run the risk of that overlapping Virtue's Last Reward, because it's like truly one of my favorite games. I'm trying to get through Sam & Max before it heats up here, and it's short enough I think I can manage that. But Virtue's Last Reward, that's a lot. Even if I had started that, like, right at the start of the relatively cool season in Los Angeles, that would have been a tall order. Yeah, VLR will take a while. I don't think it's quite as bad. Even if I really take my time on it, it shouldn't be, like, raincode length. I think, like, the last 2 times I played Virtue's Last Reward, it was, like, just over 40 hours. Which is not nothing, but it's something. Anyway, we found the location of Frog Rock, so we can leave this wretched screen.
I think I can see Frog Rock.
Now, I think we add it to the map, or do we have to wait till we get to the map? Or did it add before and I forgot about it because I was talking?
I've got to use this elevator.
I gotta use this elevator. I'm trying to remember what the first thing I actually uploaded to my YouTube was. I mean, like, there's some older stuff, because, like, back in my, like, unemployed days, when I, like, first moved to Los Angeles, I was still just, like, making YouTube content for YouTube. Stuff like Spider-Man and Skylanders and, Fable 3, some of the big names. Oh yeah, there's Frog Rock. Before we do Frog Rock, let's jump back to the office. Demolition said there's unique stuff that shows up there, and I don't really remember what all that is. There's a new cat that wasn't here before.
How'd you lose your eye anyway?
Meow 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 meow.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Meow.
Why is it that the eye patch cat is not vaguely anthropomorphic, while the other one was?
Are you a pirate?
Meow.
There's Bosco dialogue? I think you talk to Bosco in this game, do you? Just like a different response to the building? Or do I have to come back later? Is that a cat instead of a cat person? I mean, like, at the start of the game, you interact with a cat who looks like a regular cat. You know, like, we're sort of humanoid-shaped animals. But, like, it looked like a largely regular cartoon cat, and it talked to us. This one has an eye patch, and so it kind of vaguely humanizes it, and yet it meows. It's weird. Maybe the door? Maybe the door.
Hey, I don't think Mr. Bosco's voluntarily giving away his money.
Oh, I'm real terrified. A dog and a rabbit. Ooh, scary.
Max, the smart-ass kid doesn't think we're scary. What do you think about that? That's telling him, little buddy.
I think that punk learned a valuable lesson, Sam.
Me too, Max. I didn't realize that the lower lip could stretch completely over the head. Amazing.
I think I have seen that before, but I definitely didn't remember it. It's the goofy Pluto problem. You're totally right. That is exactly what it is. Like, two animals of the same type in a world with anthropomorphic animals, and one of them is a person and one of them isn't. It is exactly the goofy Pluto problem. Those are markers for you. That's great. Keep it up, Devolution. I will at least look into all of these. I don't know if I'll get all of them. I'm almost guaranteed to, like, pay into the Trigger Fire Patreon this year to add more sound effects, which is kind of staggering to me, only in that I find it hard to believe that people are really okay navigating through all those redemptions, and yet here we are. Because you're all my type of people who just want more sound effects to play with. I do have to fix up the soundboard on the Stream Deck again at some point, though. Let's go to Frog Rock. Oh, well, we could have just checked this sign.
Frog Rock. This doesn't look like a frog at all.
My innocence has been shattered by this blatant tourist trap. I want my money back.
We didn't pay anything.
Well, somebody better give me some money.
We have infinite money. It's an inventory item.
This is a completely unusable thingamabob.
Alright, we were told that to conduct this ritual we would need samples. 3 different samples. This is Bruno's fur and mange, I believe. And then the other two... I think one of them was Elmo, and that should be this one from the golf range. And I don't know that we got a name for the last one, but we might be able to find it if we needed it, which we don't.
Gross, Sam.
And like, Max's interaction as you try to do this is really funny to me because, like, he just has this, like, sincere animal way about him of just, like, interacting out of curiosity, even though he's, like, a person and, like, knows what you're doing, but he's still just sort of like, what does this do? Why are you doing this? Now, this mole man dust. We did it.
Well?
Wait for it.
Sure gets dark quickly around here.
I don't think this is a natural occurrence, Max. In fact, I think we're witnessing a celestial convergence of some sort.
Do you think it'll make that rock look more like a frog?
I see. Uh-huh. Okay, bye.
This means something, Sam.
I don't know if it's the fact that I played this game, but that's the same joke I feel like I would make in response to that. There's a clue here. I don't know if you guys have figured out what we're meant to do next, but we will be able to use this information next week in order to advance the story. For now, though, let's make a new save. This is Scum VM, by the way. This is the first time I've ever actually used Scum VM, to be honest with you. Alright, I've returned. It's me, Large Vasco. As I said, we're going to leave it there after performing the ritual at Frog Rock, which still, sadly, doesn't look like a frog. I think I'm reaching and just seeing clues where I want to. I mean, it's a little difficult for me to be objective knowing this game as well as I do. You may be right in that I'm jumping ahead, but there's something you're meant to gain from the end of that. We'll see if we can piece that together next time. Secret sex scene in the stars. No, this isn't a 90s straight to VHS Disney movie or something. You have a good night, 2 letters. And have a good sleep as well. I'm having a weird sleep week. I was having really awful dreams last night in particular. And every day I already wake up feeling tired, and I don't mean that in the normal being an adult sucks way. It's been a weird week. But yeah, I think that's gonna mostly wrap it up. We're probably a little further in this game than I expected after one stream. There's a chance we might finish this in another stream. We'll see about that. It's interesting. I figured if I took a leisurely pace and tried to, like, examine everything and get as much dialogue as possible, it would still slow us down quite a bit, but not as much as I expected. But we do still have plenty of Sam & Max to enjoy. It's tough, you know, like, with a game like this, particularly because, for various reasons, this was sort of above my level when I was first playing so much of this as a kid. It's really hard to gauge how long the experience should be. Much like with tomorrow's game, actually, Super Mario RPG, I feel like I probably spent like 50 or 60 hours playing that game as a kid. The estimates on the remake on time to beat are like 16 to 20 hours or something like that. And I'm like, huh, am I misremembering that badly? Or did I have a really hard time with that game? And I'm honestly not sure, because I'm pretty sure I didn't correctly engage with all of its timing mechanics as a kid, particularly the defensive ones. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow when we play that game on stream. For now, we must find the secret Squirtle, because somewhere on the couch behind me I've hidden a secret Squirtle. If you're able to locate a Squirtle in this fashion, it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. However, it is important to keep in mind that if you can see a Squirtle like this big sleepy Squirtle fellow, that one's not a secret, he's right there. They changed stuff in the new one. I mean, I'm sure they did. I get the impression that most of the changes are cosmetic. I haven't dug too terribly deep into it. I will be reasonably willing to invite people to find Easter eggs or anything in that game as well, since it's been a long time, so I don't remember all the nuances of the story, but I definitely remember, like, largely what's going on, and you can't really, like, spoil me on it, per se. They fixed the bugs. Now, I seem to recall reading that they specifically didn't fix a particular bug with an early boss fight, something I don't ever remember encountering, but I think it's the big sword. I think there's like some exploit where you can like absolutely trample the sword, and like they left it in, and everyone's like, this must have been intentional all along because they didn't bother to fix it. the first game you tried posting on your YouTube channel. I didn't know that, Cotillion. That is a fun fact. Ah, we got some good guesses. Do I have more headphone debris? These have gradually been dissolving over the past, like, 5 months. Oh, let's gather these guesses and see if we can find that Squirtle, shall we? Okay, so Santa Winnie the Pooh, Squidbeard, Under the Donut. There was another guess earlier when I went to that screen for a minute. Under the Octopus. Guarded by Groot. Okay, I see. Is it under the couch? No, the thing under the couch is my green screen that I've never used. It's been here the whole time. This is an Elgato green screen, still in its plastic wrapping. I briefly felt the ambition that I might be able to get the lighting to work properly for it, but when you keep in mind that this couch is here, and that, like, just out of screen on this side is, like, a stool for the bar I have into my quasi-open concept kitchen area, there's really no place to put sufficient lighting for the green screen to work the way it's supposed to. Time to use it on the far left. Nah, I mean, like, I will tell you right now that, like, currently I have a big fan running right here, which is the best case scenario of where something could go on the left. The reason it's in the packaging is because there's no space for lights. And even if there was, with the abysmal temperature control of this apartment, I would probably actually start a fire. No, I'm not selling it. The point is, I'm going to keep it until I am in a better position. When I talked before about, like, the next stage of the streaming solution setup, that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Like, I am pretty much due for a move, and then I will almost certainly have more space and options to make use of it. Now, there's always been a struggle of in what way, like, even if I could get the lighting right, let's keep in mind that the Elgato green screen is meant to be fairly limited, and so the camera would need to be focused on it, which, like, also kind of doesn't work in this setting. But yeah, I mean, like, the idea is I've held on to it all this time because it is definitely a thing I want, and I would like to be able to use it, and I'm not currently in a position to use it, but when I move, it will hopefully be to a location that has temperature control and isn't itself constantly on fire and has enough space that I can do that, and maybe a dedicated area I can stream from that isn't the entirety of my living room. So that's the notion. If I didn't want it, I could have sold it a long time ago. That's not the point. I definitely want it. I got it for my birthday like 8 years ago or something stupid. That actually sounds right. I think it was about 8 years ago. And it just kind of sits down there, blocking you from seeing whatever is on the other side of the couch. But yeah, let's go and see if we can find that Squirtle. So, we had guess under the octopus hat. We have Christmas Winnie the Pooh. We have Donut. Isn't there another one? I thought there was another one. Squidbeard. Squidbeard! Okay, great. Sure, let's start here. This feels like it will be challenge. Okay, that worked out. That didn't work out quite as well, but that's fine. So this is a friend sometimes known as the Rage Octopus or the Octo Hat because, and this is true, he can also be a hat. He also has storage space inside of him, which on this occasion has a little rabbit friend. Not a Squirtle, but a cute little guy. And fitting for our friend Max, who is a lagomorph of some description. I do sort of appreciate that Sam and Max continuity goes out of its way to be, like, weirdly non-specific about exactly what Max is. Let's see. Christmas Winnie the Pooh. Well, he's hanging out with his good friend Eeyore. Although he does not have a tiny Santa hat. He's still in the spirit of showing off all these Christmas friends. The donut. Now, there's nothing hiding behind the donut this time, and it was sort of directly on top of our pirate friend. She hasn't been around for a little while. Please enjoy her glory. Please focus. There we go. Thank you, camera. But even though the donut itself didn't have a Squirtle, he's a big guy hiding underneath our crab pirate, and of course under Carlos as well. So there's one Squirtle. But there was also a guess I saw that perhaps Squidbeard, our other octopus-like friend, was perhaps concealing a Squirtle. And it turns out that he was. Look at that. Multiple Squirtle found. Okay, now, before the stream started, I had left ScumVM running long enough that a graphical glitch happened. It's happening again. I don't exactly know what this is. I'm pretty sure if I move the mouse, it'll go back to normal. That's what happened last time. But before, I did it when I wasn't recording. I was like, look at this weird thing. And since we're still recording, look at this weird thing. I'm fascinated by the fact that it keeps going. Maybe if we let it go for long enough, it will turn into that clue that Catellion was looking for. Uh-huh. It's almost like a screensaver. I don't know. I have no concept of what this is. Whatever it is, it's a very, very peculiar thing to go wrong. I mean, just, like, look at it. I mean, it definitely has screensaver vibes. Just fascinating. I mean, because it's not even remotely intentional, I don't think there's a legitimate way to blacksad this and, like, wait for it to reach some, like, ultimate point of failure. I think the best you could do is hope for all of the stars to disappear by these black things happening. Yeah, I mean, this is basically the origin of creepypasta, right? Is this type of thing? Is, like, the notion that games would do, like, weird, indecipherable, uncontrollable things and, like, tap into the occult or something. There's a message in my alphabets. It says, "Woo!" No, those are Cheerios. It overlaid stars with almost the identical set of stars. Just truly, truly baffling. I mean, we could do this all night, but to prove a point, I'm pretty sure if I move the mouse, it's going to go back to normal. You ready? Hold on. I'll give it one more. There we go. Something over there? Yep, and now it's just back. Now it's just back. Now it's normal. No idea what that's about, but that's the second time it's happened. So, like, if you leave it idle and, like, aren't in the window, it starts doing really weird stuff. Anyway, I hope you've been enjoying Sam & Max Hit the Road. I continue to like this game a great deal. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll be back tomorrow night for some Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. It rolls right off the tongue. And once we wrap these respective games, we'll probably move on to, well, definitely move on to the subsequent Sam & Max games from Telltale, and probably directly into Corrin unless something weird happens. But yeah, thanks. I'd look forward to seeing you again, whether that's tomorrow or sometime in the future, perhaps next Friday for some more Sam & Max Hit the Road. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, and remember that you are Clawsome.